2, 3. All right. Looks like we are live, everybody. We got the green light. We got the audio working. We got everybody here in the chat. Let's give the room a moment here to populate. My name is Bezad.
And I'm Marisa.
We are from Naked and Famous Denim, and welcome to the weekly Naked and Famous Denim live stream. Happy to see you all here today, this evening, joining us live from Yokohama, Japan. Let us know where you guys are checking in from. We've got Lord Stanley, 1893. Hello from Buffalo. Buffalo.
Oh.
We've got Wrights W5, Birmingham, UK. Welcome, welcome. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Lee H. Hello, everybody. Good to see so many familiar faces. Decibels. I'd normally be hailing from DC, but today I'm watching from the Faroe Islands. Favor or Faroe Islands? Did I ruin that? Faroe? I can't read, by the way, guys. I don't know if you noticed this. But yeah, I'm not...
Never heard of that.
No, I haven't either. Tell us how it is.
Exotic.
Let us know how it is out there in the Faroe. Faroe? I don't know. I'm screwing that up. BD, hailing from Welland, Ontario. Welcome, welcome. Edward Lyons. Edward from Scotland. Discotheque. Hello from Normandy. Welcome, welcome. BD. Parts unknown?
Parts unknown.
Parts unknown. That's where the Ultimate Warrior comes from.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
When they would announce him coming down, making his way down the aisle, weighing in at, 265 pounds, hailing from Parts Unknown.
Interesting.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Harrison M. Hello from Poughkeepsie, New York. All right, that's a fun word to say. Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
Invisians, we are live. We are live. DC is in the house. Hello from Mississauga, Ontario. Hello, hello. Well, everybody, I hope you had a nice week. It's been a pretty good week over here in Japan land. The weather is seemingly... we're going to start with the weather talk, the important talk. The weather's been holding up.
It feels pretty summery
now.
like early summer now. Yeah.
Decibels. Pharaoh rhymes with arrow, and it's gorgeous.
Huh.
If a bit cold still. All right. All right. Well, it is the evening time. Little Len, how do you spell your name? I always hear Basehead. I had a lot of friends when I was younger who used to call me Basehead. I think that's just because, it sounded like that.
Know? Or they
No, they knew, but I think because it sounded like that, that's just how they referred to me, which is fine. But it's Bahzad, B-A-H-Z-A-D, or Z for you Canadians out there. Z and Z confuses a lot of people, but Z or Z works. B-A-H-Z-A-D. You can find me on Instagram, B-A-H-Z-A-D-T. And you can find me there.
Yeah.
And where can we find you on Instagram, Risa?
Risitogram, RISAITOGRAM.
That's it. See, if this was a higher quality live stream, we'd have these things popping up on the screen. Don't know how to do that. At some point, I definitely have to sit down and, make the stream look a little more exciting. But you guys support us. You know what I mean? The information is what matters the most. All right. The room is populating nicely here. Todd Hackett, hello from a humid, rainy Philadelphia. Welcome to the live stream. Man45, hello from Seattle. Is it rainy for you out there too? Sean Delahunty, hello from Vancouver, Washington. Welcome. Little N. Okay, I am glad it's not just me. LOL. Sorry, man. No problem. It's been happening my whole life.
Vancouver and Washington?
There's a Vancouver, Washington, yeah. There's also an Ontario, California.
Yes, I know that. But Vancouver, Washington, it's so actually... It's
very close, yeah.
Actual Vancouver.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no, they're actual Vancouver too. But.
Todd Hackett. By the way, the stream is excellent this week.
Oh, great.
I'm glad. I was tinkering around with the settings before the live stream. I think we're doing okay. Hopefully it sticks around. Let's not jinx it. Discotheque, a stream deck. Yeah, I know. I need to get a whole proper stream set up. Invis Ian's, heavy TTs on the gram. Any details? Follow Wonderlooper. WONDERLOOPER on Instagram.
Yeah.
and we'll
It's currently my my chain stitch thing, but we'll be
teasing some more things there soon. So there's some special stuff coming over there. It currently is mostly chain stitching content, but and that actually the chain stitching content hopefully will expand upon that as well if you guys want to see some of those things. Yesterday, Risa and I were looking at a bunch of chain stitch stuff and like just fun and interesting ways to customize your jeans. So if I can get better at making videos, which I'm not very good at making videos, we will make some cool videos regarding that. I find that a live stream is better, but then you have to watch for 45 minutes to see the entire thing unfold.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the hyper speed ones are kind of cool to watch, but yeah, I'm also really bad at those things.
Right. Anyways, we gotta.
I'm also bad at like being on the spot too. Like I don't want to make a mistake
fine,
while you're filming. And
but that's okay. That's part of it. People gotta see, that.
Yeah.
Not everything is perfect. Things take time, especially when it comes to handmade stuff. It's never going to be perfect. So and I think that's what we appreciate it the most. The Wangerite, Naked and Famous times Morbius. I don't know what Morbius is. Somebody might have to inform me on Morbius. I don't know what Morbius is. Rants are greater than graphics. I agree. I am good at ranting, not great at the graphics on the live streams.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you more rants. Matthew Bradwell, greetings from Portland. Heading back to work shortly. See you in the comments over the weekend. Well, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that. BD, The Living Vampire, Morbius. Morbius is the new Marvel movie with Jared Leto. Oh, Todd Hackett. Oh, okay. Just too many Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I
haven't even heard of that though.
Never, yeah. To be fair, I'm not really paying attention, but I have no idea what's going on in that world.
Wasn't Jared Leto in another comic book movie? Like pretty big role?
Aren't they all in big comic book movies these days?
I guess so.
It seems like it's like 50% of the movies are comic book movies, and I haven't watched any of them. I really haven't. And I feel bad because a lot of people especially on the stream, a lot of people recommend stuff. There was one, was it Suicide Squad? I don't know, something with John Cena or something like. What was the one?
John Cena?
Yeah, there's one with John Cena and somebody was recommending the other day. And
that's funny.
He played Joker in Suicide Squad, DC. Oh, okay, there you go. See, I don't know. I haven't watched that.
John Cena did?
No. Jared Leto.
Oh,
Jared Leto did.
Yeah.
It's a Sony Marvel, so it's not quite the same as the MCU. Yeah, so Sony owns some Marvel licenses, and I guess they got to use them or else they lose them. That's the 40-year-old virgin rule. If you don't, anyways. If you watch that movie, shout out to 40-year-old virgin.
But well, I want to watch the new Batman. I kind of want to see how the new guy is.
Right.
It's supposed to be good.
It's supposed to be good. Is it? I think it's out on home video already. Home video. Guys, rent it tonight on home video. The Peacemaker on HBO Max. John Cena nailed it. Okay, Peacemaker, HBO Max. He's not in Suicide Squad, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I've never seen because I've seen posters everywhere. I don't think he's in it.
Yeah.
We don't have HBO Max though.
Right, we don't. Anyway, I'm sure we can find a way to watch it. John Cena gets his own superhero TV show. Right.
He should. He looks like a superhero.
Is he a wrestler in it? That'd be cool. There should be. Are there any wrestling superheroes right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
Has there been ever?
I'm trying to think. I can't think of one. Cena is in the second Suicide Squad then TV show. Okay, well there you go. Jose Riviera III. Hello from Pennsylvania. Hello. Home of Dunder Mifflin. Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's true. Okay, I always wanted to say you guys are the cutest couple. I'm glad Risa is normal part of the live stream these days. Thanks again for doing this every week. Well, you are welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us. And thanks for thinking we're a cute couple. We try.
Do we try?
I think so.
To be cute?
Yeah, we try. Snowy wins that award. He's on the table right now. Does Santo count as a superhero? Santo does count as a superhero. So he was a Mexican pro wrestler who made like a ton of movies. Tons and tons. And interesting, tragic story about him is he unmasked finally after like decades. Mm-hmm. And then like a week later he died. So even in the movies he would wear his mask.
Why did he die?
I don't know. Some medical... I'm sure he had some problem.
Oh,
but,
okay. It sounds like somebody found
No. Nobody got offended and like, got him. Got to get that Batman on Blu-ray. Thanks for the reminder, internet. Yeah. I think it's out on Blu-ray already. So
okay.
I'll have to do an Amazon order. The Hurricane.
Sounds like a movie name. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there was that boxer movie, The Hurricane, with Hurricane Carter. He was the boxer who spent many years in jail for a crime he did not commit. Yeah.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah. Hurricane Carter, yeah. He ended up moving to Toronto. I sound like someone who's not from Toronto. Anyways. Movie talk. A lot of movie talk. I like the movie talk. Wow. And I appreciate the recommendations. It gives me some motivation to get on my butt. Get on my butt. Off my butt. I'm on my butt. Get off my butt and watch some of these superhero films.
Yeah.
Hurricane. Kane Helms. Yeah, Hurricane Helms, the wrestler. So, yeah, I know the Hurricane as a wrestler also. He was a smaller statured wrestler. Is he a superhero? I guess he's a superhero. In the wrestling world, he's a superhero. But not in the comic book world, he's a superhero. Who is a comic book wrestler? Yeah, Hurricane Helms, wrestler with a superhero gimmick. Yeah, but is there a comic book character with a wrestler gimmick? Not a wrestler gimmick, but is a wrestler. I don't know. Can't think of one. I should know. If anyone should know, it should be me. Should it be me? I don't know. I'm not as deep into the comic book world as I used to be. Dat Blonde Dude. Hello from New York City. Sorry if it's been asked. It hasn't. Is there a date of release for the tech denim? Not yet, but I will be announcing in the next couple of days. It is likely going to be June 17th or June 24th. So coming very soon. I can announce now, or maybe I announced it last time, but I didn't send it on the email blast yet. But the Sky High denim will be coming out on June the 10th. So we've got the Crimson Sky restock coming on June the 3rd. I on the Wednesday's email, I sent out a restock notification saying that the Crimson Sky was going to come out today. It didn't. We didn't get all the inventory in time. So, anyways, it got pushed. That's going to happen on June the 3rd. So the Crimson Sky, June 3rd, Sky High, June 10th, and then the Ultralight Tech denim, depending on how fast we can move everything, it's going to come out on the 17th or June the 24th. So a lot of releases happening in June. A lot of Sky related. We had the Summer Sky released again today. So we had the re-release of the Summer Sky, then we got the Crimson Sky, then we got the Sky High. Maybe I should take it easy on the Sky names.
Like, Sky High and Golden Hour were the only things this season that had the Sky. And Golden Hour didn't even have the word Sky. But then, we're bringing it back with the Crimson Sky, Summer Sky. It's so confusing. Yeah.
It's in our brains. I mean, I'm sure it might be confusing for you too anyways. Yeah. I gotta work on the variety of naming. Mm-hmm. But you know what I don't like doing? Like arbitrary names, like a name that really doesn't have anything to do with the fact they just try to make it sound cool. Like I've seen, I've seen people who are trying to be naked and famous do that, and I'm just like, that is such a lame name. Like it's just it sounds like you've got a you're trying to
came up with that word first.
Yeah,
and you
right.
Just put
you came
that
up
on that. Yeah.
Like when we get the samples, on the inside it's just like. The sample name is like, natural indigo, slubby, stretch denim.
Very descriptive.
Just very descriptive. And then I gotta work from backwards from that and be like, okay, well, what does this have a feeling of? Mm-hmm. How can I convey that? What are some strong words? Easy, So it takes a while actually for me to I have a giant list that I'm like, I start working my way through.
Yeah. And we just say it, and it's like, oh, that sounds.
Yeah, does that sound good? No. Does that sound too much like this, the other thing? And then you Google it and you see if anybody else ripped off that name.
Well, if we haven't used it.
Yeah, if we haven't used it, they didn't rip us off, but they ripped off our style. Anyways. Riley O'Brien asks, Bayzetta and Risa, do you think the natural C denim could pass off as work professional pants? They look like tan slacks almost. Damn good looking jeans, ordering a pair tonight. Damn good looking jeans, ordering a pair tonight. Mm-hmm. I think so.
I think so too. It's just, I mean, I would think that it might be depending on the area of work or industry that you're in. But if you pair it up with like a blazer or something, like that would just look like a, summer.
Like a summer outfit. Yeah. So long as you have the right shoes and the right top, you can certainly pass that off.
It's got like the tonal stitching, so you really don't see that jeansness so much.
Yeah. There's a lot of people going back to work, and I mean this has been going on for a while, but from what I've been hearing from people is the workplaces have been relaxing the dress code a lot. Mm-hmm. Some people are going back to work 2 or 3 days a week. It's like rotating shifts still, and there's the dress codes have been very relaxed. So there's a lot more denim going back into the workplace, and because we make a lot of clean, dark indigo jeans, and other clean colors. There's no wash, no distressing. There's no funky patterns going on there. It's easy to get into the work environment with something like that and look professional, right? Yeah. If you wear a clean pair of dark indigo jeans, button-up shirt, a jacket, a blazer, and some like clean, Chelsea boots or something like that, you're good to go. No one's gonna think that that's not work appropriate.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw somebody who's professional looking in professional environment. Yeah. Show up without a socks, or maybe he was wearing a socks, but like one of those invisible ones. And then I was like, okay, if this is allowed, jeans should be allowed.
For sure. Okay, there's 2 questions in the chat, and this is one thing I wanted to talk about today. Jose Riviera asks, any advice on adding bleach to the wash soak to help the fades pop on your jeans? I just watched the CRD, but his great videos, were long and confusing. And then we've got another question. Vitali, Stridewise, just interviewed Zeke from Naked Famous New York store, and he also talked about adding a bit of bleach when washing his jeans. Perfect segue, because this is one thing I wanted to talk about today, because that comment in that video seemed to get the most like, whoa, God, somebody accused, that's cheating. Okay, look, I didn't invent this idea. I'm actually, who I'm going to credit, and he's probably not watching this at all, but it's an old friend of mine, Ricardo Tapia, okay? Now, I used to work at Holt Renfrew in Canada. It's a luxury department store. And in the early 2000s, this is when I got introduced to raw denim. And I would say that, I worked at a location called Sherway Gardens. And later on, I worked on Bloor Street. Between Sherway Gardens, Bloor Street, and Yorkdale, those were the 3 locations in Toronto. The menswear, like contemporary denim staff, we were all friends, right? Like, on our days off, a lot of them would just go to Bloor Street and shop, because Bloor Street had all the best stuff. And we became real good friends with everybody. And there was sort of like this mutual agreement between all of us that we'd all wear raw denim. And we were all wearing raw denim, we were all fading raw denim, and we really pushed raw denim in Toronto. Big time. I actually think because of that, Toronto's a good city for us in terms of raw denim sales. Like there's a big uptake. A lot of people know what it is, and I think it leads back to that like moment in the mid 2000s, early mid 2000s, where we were really pushing. Everybody who would come in, we'd be like, oh, you got to try these on. And because we were wearing it and we were the staff, a lot of people were like, yo, what are you wearing? I want that. And then you'd have to explain the process to a lot of people. So Ricardo one day shows up, and his jeans are like crazy faded, and we're like they're bright blue. They're a lot of us were in the notion of like, never. We were still at the early point where like never wash your jeans. Never, ever, 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 ever wash your jeans. And, you know, I had a buddy who was like, you know, year and a half in, disgusting, like gross. I had about a year into them, and then I washed mine for the first time, and I was the first guy to wash them, right? And then Ricardo put bleach in his wash. And we were like, what the F? Like that, your jeans look crazy, and they look cool. And like, and the thing about Ricardo was like he would make his own clothes and stuff, so he's very like, hands-on with this stuff, right? He always wanted to try do crazy things. So he went overboard, I think, with just thinking back, he went a little overboard because he put a lot of bleach in that wash, and the jeans came out like, kind of like, you know, you would think a bleach wash would look, you know, like really artificial in a way. So a couple years ago, you know, we were at home, and I had this pair of left-hand twills, which I have, I'll show you. And, you know, I've been wearing them for a while, I don't know, probably over a year. And I just thought, let's just start experimenting. Let's see what happens. And I channeled my Ricardo Tapia. Channeled my Ricardo, and we added a little bit, just a little bit. It wasn't much. We added a little bit of bleach to the wash to see what would happen. And lo and behold, it brightened up those jeans like really nicely.
Yeah, but it was very like a tad bit. A little bit of bleach goes a long way if you don't expect much.
Yeah.
But in order for you to actually brighten up like jeans to the point where it looks like it's been, you know,
bleach washed.
Or, you know, washed for like decades.
Yeah.
It would take a lot of bleach, and it will take a lot of like soaking in bleach.
Yeah. Don't do that, right? Because also if you're trying to soak in bleach, the results are going to be very inconsistent, right? So anyways, we added a little bit of bleach to the wash, and it brightened up the blues, and it whitened up the whites. So to me, it felt like adding a little bit of bleach, like a capful, maybe a little bit more than a capful, enhanced it by like 10 washes, right? So
I think it kind of also, you know, because the white is whiter, it looks a
brighter.
little bit more, more sharp.
So these are my left-hand twills. I'm sure you guys have seen these before. I got to do a fade review on these, but I've had these since, I don't know. These are probably like 6 or 7 years old.
This was like the first time when we did the Easy Guy. Yeah, this was your first sample.
Well, actually, I wore a silk denim, and then, and then I changed into these. So I've had these for as long as the Easy Guy's been in existence, and these have been worn probably since then, like, in the last 6 years, I probably have worn these 50% of the time.
Average out, because the first 3
years,
the first 3 years
I was always wearing it, but like, so, and then Risa's done a few little embroideries and things like that on there. But and I haven't washed these in a while, but the whites are really white, and the blues, they get nice and bright blue. It really makes a nice color, and and we haven't consistently bleach washed these. But if you do, say you wash your jeans 2 or 3 times a year, right? And you add that little bit of bleach, I would say that by like, you know, the end of the second year, you're going to end up with a pair of jeans. And also if you're wearing them every day, right? You're wearing your jeans every day. Here, I'm going to put out the situation. You wore your jeans for about 6-8 months consistently. You know, all your fades, your creases are settled, your fades are pronounced, they're looking good. Now you've decided to wash them, right? Put them in the wash, a little bit of bleach added. It's going to brighten everything up. It's going to take a few shades of those indigos away, and it's going to look like a nice pair of like, it's going to look like it's going to give it a nice vintage looking wash, right? Not too high contrast, because, you know, I think at 6 to 8 months, even though your creases are settled, they're not like the craziest amount of settling. And if you consistently wash your jeans with bleach every maybe 2 or 3 months, maybe 3 or 4 months, at the end of 2 years, you're gonna get it to like looking like this, right? And this would take years of like normal wash and wear So it does speed up the process a little bit, and I don't think it's cheating. And here's why. Is detergent cheating? Right? You had detergent in your wash. Detergent's not cheating, and detergent, wears away some of those shades of blue, right? Bleach is a detergent. Right?
But also, what is cheating? Like, what are we trying to do? This is not a sport.
This is not the Olympics, right? There is no cheating, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, and I would also think that, like, back in the day, like, not back in the day, but there was a time when everybody put bleach in the wash normally, right? And that was just part of washing your clothes. And that's why some of those old blue jeans come out to look the way that they are. That's because they were washing with bleach because that was normal, right? We went away from that because we felt, bleach is too harsh. Only use the bleach on the whites, okay? I'm telling you now, you can add a little bit of bleach to this wash. It's going to be fine. You're going to achieve vintage, like, lighter blue colors faster, and there ain't anything wrong with it.
Yeah. I'm just a little confused why people are so offended by the way that you wash your garments.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's like, is it cheating if you wash your jeans like, 5 months in instead of 6 months in?
Yeah.
Like, there's no
rules.
regulations that we have to follow.
But people have been conditioned in the raw denim world, or even also the people who are like adjacent to the raw denim world. There's some people who are, they might come from a different part of the men's, better dressing world. And they think, okay, well, raw denim, you don't wash it. Because that's all they know. They were at the store. The guy at the store told them that. And so anything else is like, whoa, no. The guy at the store is the expert. And he told me you don't wash your jeans. So I trust him. And that's the truth. But the reality is the guy at the store probably also just heard that from some other person, and that chain of events has just kept on rolling down the line. Whereas, like, when you get into the nitty-gritty of things, there's no rules. Like, it's kind of like, I remember for a time, like, stretch denim was like, oh, no, stretch denim. That's terrible. And slowly it just became acceptable, more and more so, right? And the reason, people are so rigid in their thinking of like, no, stretch is not acceptable. It's not true to denim. Vintage denim is this. I'm like, well, which vintage are you looking at? Like, how far back are you looking? A lot of people seem to think that everything has to be, exactly the same way it was made in like 1800, right? Or like, late 1800s, 1900s. It's not the way it works, right? Yeah. So for me.
Yeah, it reminds me of Portlandia. Is it Portlandia? Like, there's they go to denim's shop, and then the guy was like, you're really doing it wrong.
Oh, right, yeah. There was a Portlandia episode, like, bit on raw denim, and then there was like, I forget what it was. Somebody made like a comedic skit online. I forget. I'll find it and I'll put it on. I'll put it on our YouTube. What do you call it? Channels or something like that. Anyways, I can post it. I can post somebody else's video on our feed, and it's like Twitter or something. You'll see it. But yeah, somebody said, I like your Vietnam. Oh, where's all the pie? I like the Vietnam War themed embroidery. It's from Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket. It's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff we were talking about earlier in the stream. It's like, fun little ways to customize your jeans with embroidery. So Risa did this for me, we're looking forward to doing some more of that. These jeans also, don't be Bezad, okay? Listen to Bezad's advice, but don't always do what Bezad does, because these jeans, I always tell people to repair your jeans when the damage is small, right?
Especially in the crotch, because these holes are cool, but
the crotch holes
are not so
cool.
cool.
So I was thrashing these jeans, and I suppose at the same time I was just like, whatever, any hole I get, I'm gonna patch up eventually. And like, the knees, these started as little micro holes, and I just watched them grow. Now I got this weird hole up here, and that's because there was a hole, and then I put my foot through it, and then so that's got to get patched up. This knee hole I don't mind so much, but this one, that one's a little of an odd position. That my cell phone eventually just wore through it. A couple different cell phones over the years wore right through that. On my back pocket here, there's a little hole starting to form right there, right? I'm gonna let that form, but it's definitely coming. The crotch, it just started small, and then I think I might have put my foot through it when I was trying to put them on, and then bam, right, I ripped right through it, straight. So I got a pretty big hole here. That's got to get fixed. We're gonna patch that up real nicely. I feel like this. I haven't touched these jeans in a while because I feel like there's a lot of video content that I can create around this pair, and then I'm just not sure how to do it. So like there's a repair video, there's a customized video, there's a bleach wash video. So there's a little bit of that.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing those videos.
Yeah, I mean this
lazy.
This pair, I mean you can look at the train tracks on that. They're looking great. Right. This is my best faded pair of jeans. I need more pairs. I have a pair of true grits that are very.
Yeah, it's getting there.
They're getting there.
Yeah.
I have to bleach wash them.
Yeah. Well, you still have to wear a little bit.
Yeah.
You used to have the dirty fade that was.
Yeah,
very
I
good.
outgrew those.
Oh.
Yeah, those were a super guy size like 29 or something like that, and I'm sitting at like easy guy size 33 these days. Just
33. No, it's still 32.
32. Easy guy 32. Brainstar ventilation holes. Totally. That's the way I see it. Yeah.
It feels like it looks great for summertime.
Yeah. And they look great to hang. Like if these were on the wall of fade, that would be perfect, but I still want to wear these. I like it when my raw jeans get to this point. This is what I want, right?
Yeah.
Like I like clean, crisp, and dark for certain occasions, but you know, when I'm wearing, t-shirts or being casual, I want my jeans to be this faded. And I want them to be my fades. I don't want to buy a pre-washed pair of jeans. I don't I own, vintage jeans and things like that, but I want them to be mine. And so
yeah, you worked on it.
I worked on it.
That's the whole point of raw denim.
Yeah. So that's the story with bleach washing. You know, if you've got questions about it, hit me up anytime. I'm happy to answer it. I'm a big advocate for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I really like bleach, putting bleach in the wash because the whole thing smells like bleach for a while.
Yeah.
And I love the
clean.
smell of bleach.
All right. So Brainstar, that Portlandia bit on raw denim was great. Yeah. Portlandia are they still making that show? It's a good show.
No, are they?
I don't know. Jose Riviera the third. I have a pair that the fades are just dull. Just looking for a little more pop. I'm not too concerned with any competition or anything. I really appreciate the feedback and advice. You're welcome, my friend. Yeah, give it a try.
Yeah, try it.
If you're in a top loader machine, just make sure the water's up. Don't apply the bleach directly to the fabric, right? That's the one thing you got to avoid. Otherwise, you're gonna get bleach stains. So be careful of that. But yeah, or if you're in a front loading machine, you've got the little, there's usually a little area where you can put it, and then it'll eventually put it into the wash. So, those are some bleach washing tips. Venomous Teddy, did you release the hem on that pair? I didn't release the hem. I just raw hemmed them. So I just cut them. I didn't finish the bottoms. They frayed up. They curl up a little bit. If that bothers you, you could just iron it down. But I never released it. I just raw hemmed it. Although I've basically raw hemmed all of my jeans for the past few years. Though I do like the look of a released, worn-in hem.
I know. I'm hoping maybe I'll do that with the natural.
Your natural indigos.
Yeah.
For those people who don't know what that is, let me explain. It's a pair of dirty fades. These are worn in. And they're a little gross, but that's okay. So your hem here, over time, this is not the most faded hem. Is the other cuff better? It's been cuffed a lot, so anyways, probably not. You get the little roping details, kind of the twisting around the hem here. So over time, that fades a lot. You get the fades along the hem on the edge here. And you'll see it sometimes on vintage jeans where they just undo the inseam, they unravel it, and then, the part that's underneath here that's folded inside, it's not very faded. It's very dark, but the rest of it is faded. So you get this really cool wear pattern on on a released hem once it's faded. That would be a fun thing to shoot. So I gotta find a way to get a photo example of that. But you might have seen it before.
Maybe I can release my classics hems, like the indigo one. It's probably not that faded, but it would definitely show the contrast. RET 93. Is there any updates on when the tech denim will be released? It's getting hot in California. Yes, it's coming soon. So June, we've got a couple of releases coming up. June the 3rd, we've got the Crimson Sky Stretch Selvage restock. That's the final restock for the Crimson Sky. So if you missed it before, this is your last chance to get it. There's if you're looking for the weird guy, I'll tell you right now, there's not a lot of it. There's not a lot of weird guy out there. I don't know, just the way the balance. I don't know how. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to tell you that there's not too much of it. So if you're looking for it, New York and NYC, we have like 1 or 2 units per size, each location. So just be on the website at 11 a.m. on Friday if you want it. Another pro tip, Tateinoko gets the most traffic. New York doesn't get as much traffic as Tateinoko. So if you're trying to squeeze something out, go try to squeeze it out in New York first, because I think there will be more competition on Tateinoko to get any popular sizes. June the 10th will be summer Sky High.
Sky High on June the 10th.
Yeah.
Right? And then following that, either on June 17th or 24th, I'm going to figure that out this week, or at least by Monday. No. I'll figure it out this week. Either the 17th of June or the 24th of June, we will have the ultralight tech denim. So that's coming very, very soon. I have it right here behind me. So the ultralight, we've got it here. Now, if you watched the Spring Summer 22 preview video, you would have noticed that the men's version was raw, 100% raw, unwashed. And the women's version, we did a rinse wash on. So the men's one was very, very crisp like this. And the women's one was still pretty crisp, but not as crisp. Like, I could stand these up. I probably couldn't stand these up, right? But we realized that even though this is a samfurized fabric, the shrinkage rate was
high,
a little bit higher, like 7%, something like 6-7%. So just above kind of like a normal shrink rate for a pair of jeans. And because
this one is not going to give.
Doesn't give.
Much. It's a very tight weave. Yeah. It has cotton and nylon.
Yeah, and the nylon doesn't give.
Yeah.
So we figured it's better to get rid of the shrink for you. That way you don't have any like whoopsie moments, when you do eventually launder these. They're still going to be pretty crisp. They're still very, very light, right? They're super durable still. They just won't stand up, right? Yeah. As far as looks, they still look practically the same, right?
Yeah,
you get a little bit of crinkles.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still kind of like
that swooshy sounding, right?
Yeah. I don't know what the sound thing is.
Well, ASMR it. That's raw. That's rinse. Can you tell the difference? Okay? There you have it. So, ultralight tech denim coming out in June, mid-June, either the 17th or the 24th. If you have any questions about these, let us know. Cotton nylon blend, super durable, super lightweight.
Super lightweight, and it's also crispy. Even though, with the wash it's less crispy, it's still going to settle in those creases very easily. Yeah. So it will probably give you a very high contrast fade.
Yeah. So there you have it.
The color's really nice.
The color's great, and the feeling is great. And anyways, a cool tech denim. We don't do a lot of, like, the reflective denim was probably the most techy denim we did. Well, we did the Kodura stuff, right?
All conditioned.
Yeah, all conditioned selvage, but like this weight, 5 ounces, it's crazy.
It just looks
It's
funny.
so thin. It's so thin. Yeah.
We'll put it in an envelope.
Yeah. Like, look at a single ply of this denim. Or like, this is still a double ply.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm looking forward to seeing that, like, the pile of shipments when we release this. Like, it's just going to be so many jeans, but it's, like, this high.
You know, when we ship, like, the elephant denim out, like, you can fit, like, 8 or 9 pairs in, like, our, like, when we ship them to our retail partners, like, you can fit, like, 8 or 9 pairs in a box.
Yeah.
Like, with these, you can fit, like, 30 pairs. It'll be amazing. I got to get them to do a photo of, like, you know, 10 pairs of these stacked versus, like, 10 pairs of elephants.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty cool. All right. So there you are, Artie T93. Will the tech denim come in any women's fits, switch, buckets, rights?
It will come in Max and Classic, I believe.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Max and Classic. James and Keening, do you have a pair of groovy guys lying around that you could model for us? I don't want laying around. Well, not that I can model for you. The problem is they don't fit me. I've expanded.
I have a great picture of Bezan in those
Oh,
jeans.
yeah. You know what? If you follow on my personal Instagram, there's a great photo of me in Paris. Just.
Did you post that already?
I don't think so. Maybe a long time ago, but I look like a real creep. I look great though. I'll post those up. Philip F, do you think bleach would help marbling? If you're thinking, no, what do you mean by marbling? You know, like with sometimes, like even on your pair right here, your black.
Yeah.
So you
creased up.
So, yeah, that might be weird to show off. Maybe you need to stand. A little bit of cat hair. That's okay. That's snowy. That's life with cats. Yeah. So you can see. Maybe back up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get these kind of like veining over here. We call that marbling, and that happens kind of like in the wash. I don't know if you can see it well.
But you can
hold on. I'll go get my pair.
Yeah. Yeah, this happens, and it's with the bleach. It will like emphasize these creases. So if you mean that with by marbling, it will emphasize it. Doesn't mean that it's just it causes it. It's more noticeable.
The thing is, this happens kind of randomly.
It also happens if you mostly wash it without enough stuff in the washer.
It's hard. The thing is, when these were freshly marbled, you noticed it a lot more. You can see here on the back.
These are not creases. It's creases, but it's not fade wear creases.
So what happens is sometimes if you wash your jeans by themselves and you don't turn them inside out, and they're and especially if you put them in the dryer, what happens is, you've got this wet ball of fabric, right? And you've got all these weird random creases here, like this. And this is getting, it's in the wash, it's in the spin cycle, the detergent is kind of building up on certain areas, and now it's banging around the machine, right? So all these areas are being abrased. And then you put that in the dryer, this wet ball of fabric, and it's just hitting everywhere, and then you get all these weird kind of spider veiny looking marbly creases. That's how you get that, right? It doesn't always happen. Sometimes it happens. I think it's a little bit random, to be honest with you. Now, is bleach washing gonna give you this? No. It's not gonna automatically give it to you. If you torture test your jeans in the washer dryer and you use bleach, it'll probably emphasize it, but it's not gonna cause it.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Spin cycle. Yeah. So is that from the spin cycle? Yes, for sure. I have a pair of UB18s that marbled. Right. So the washing machine, the dryer can sometimes give you mysterious fades. Personally, I like them. I think it adds a little bit of flavor. And anything that, maybe it's just me. I like going against the grain a lot. You know, because there's one vision of how raw denim jeans should fade, right? At least there's the common vision. And like anything that strays from that, people are like, I don't know. But like to me, that's the fun of raw denim, is it like all the different ways you can get your jeans to fade. And, you know, not caring about how you do all this stuff, like at least not being so rigid about it, even though it's rigid denim, produces interesting different fades. And when you get that, you know, you can look at your collection at one point and think, oh, well, look at all the different ways that all of my jeans have faded. And there's certain aspects that are very much the same. You know, like I can see when I changed my wallet to a card holder, and, you know, I have a smaller fade on my back pocket. You know, on these jeans, my phone fade is still, you know, still rocking the giant phones. So, and I got the little, you know, fade pattern that's happening right here, the same as over here, right? So if I'm not careful, that is going to be a hole, just like that's going to become a hole. And it's just fun to see exactly the same spots where things have faded on your jeans. You know, it's like your fingerprint. Yeah, and anyways, there's another raw hem for you. I did that on my blacks. And then on my raw cotton slubs, I actually probably need to hem them a little bit more, but I did a raw hem on these as well. So, lots of raw hemming. Thomas Gilbert, okay, Thomas Gilbert, do you have a go-to way of washing or mix it up? Apologies if you just answered. Just got here.
Well, I'm always the one that's putting the laundry on. So sometimes I ask him, like, if I see a jean in there, like, I would ask him, like, what he wants to do. Like, he wants to put it all the way through to the dryer, or just you know, pull it out when it finished washing or whatever. Or sometimes he says, like, I just need a little bit of bleach in there, and then we'll just do a different load and stuff. But a lot of the times I just, you know, do it. And like,
I'm not particular about it. However way they come out is however way they come out.
You sometimes put tissues in there.
Well, I forget the tissues in the pocket. It's not on purpose. But I understand. Look, you know, we have access to all the jeans, all the raw jeans we want. So, like, I could be as reckless as I want to be with them and not have to worry, right? Now, if you have a pair, you know, you spend a lot of money on these jeans, right?
And time. Yeah.
Right? So, I understand that, hey, I want to I want to make sure that
it fades the way
that I want to, and that I want to continue to wear them, right? You know, I remember, you know, my early days of raw denim. You put those jeans in the wash, you get them out, and because you've been wearing that jean for months, and you had this, you know, they were dark, they looked a certain way, and you get them out of that wash, and now they're a different color, and you're like, wait a minute. Like, this to me, it's a new jean, right? Yeah. And now I don't have those old jeans anymore, right? So I understand, like, there's this bond that you've created with this piece of clothing. So, you know, if you like the way your jeans look, you like them nice and dark, and you want to preserve that, and you want to, like, fade them as slowly as possible over time, right? You know, be gentle with them, right? If you want to put them in the washing machine, sure. Inside out, cold water. Make sure that you're washing it with other things, right? If you wash it by themselves, that's when that fabric lumps up, and you get the chance for it to marble, right? Like I just explained, that becomes greater, right? So inside out, cold water, gentle detergent, inside with other items, hang dry, right? That'll keep it the darkest. You know, at some point we all have to wash our jeans. You know, if you want to be even more gentle than that, put them in the sink. You know, agitate them a little bit. You know, with some detergent. You know, mix it up, rinse them off, do a couple of rinses, just make sure all the soap is out. Hang dry, you're good to go. But if you're like me, you've been through this for a long time, you don't really care anymore, though how they turn out is how they turn out. You know, let's let the cards. I don't. I'm bad with the analogies.
The cards fall.
However way the cards fall.
Yeah.
There's something with cards falling.
Well,
that analogy. That's the way I live my raw denim life.
And especially the first wash, you probably want to be careful because that's when you see the most change. And that, you know, the third, fourth wash, like, it would just, you can expect what's going to happen to it. So the first wash is always
the most dramatic.
Yeah. And it's always a risk because you don't know what color it's going to fade also. It's just, you've seen other people's, but it's not yours.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Shay Loudly, I wash with a full load of darks with no problems. Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. Man45, is an initial soak necessary for an unsanforized fabric? Okay, it depends on what. So unsanforized, raw fabric, no tempi treatment, none of that. I think it's important because you want to get the shrink out, right? You want to get that shrink out. It doesn't look, a soak is still going to leave those jeans fairly rigid, right? You're not agitating them too much. You're not throwing some detergent in there. Just let them soak in the warm to hot water for 45 minutes or so. Also, some people do it in their bathtubs. I recommend not doing it in the bathtub. Just because some people's bathtubs are porous, and the indigo from the denim, I don't want it to soak into your bathtub. Get a bucket or something. You'll be better off with a bucket, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go to your dollar store, go to your Home Depot, get a bucket.
I don't know what porous is.
It's
not porous. It's not. What is ours?
It's probably sometimes it can absorb color. Right?
Yeah, I mean it definitely does, but it's nothing that you can't if you leave it for a day.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want anyone to get in trouble at home. Their parents, their significant other, or whatever. What'd you do to the bathtub? Don't. Just don't. Right? Get a bucket. Get something that you can use as as a beater thing. Your bathtub is your bathtub, right? Yeah. Don't wreck it. So, I think it's a good idea just to get rid of that shrink. You're not gonna have to play games later on down the line, right? Especially if you've worn these jeans the way that the fades are, where your knees have faded and all that stuff, and then you wash them and then they shrink up and those fades kind of shift up, right? Yeah. Now they'll probably stretch back out and everything, but I think it's better to let the fades go where they're supposed to go. So get rid of that shrink and don't worry about it.
But so if you got your unsanforized, not rinse wash, not soaked, brand new, crispy, unsanforized denim, and it fits you perfectly, you should never ever wash that jeans.
Yeah.
You should at least not soak them before you wear them, because if it fits you perfectly now, you shrink it, it's not gonna fit you.
Yeah. Right.
So it's
that said,
if you
don't buy
already
your
got
raw.
it.
Yeah, if you already have it, and there's no chance of return or exchange or anything like that. Yeah. Yeah. Don't be careful with them. Now they'll stretch out a bit. They'll shrink. You're gonna play a stretch shrink game with those for the rest of the lifetime of that jean.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, after a certain point, it's not.
Well, all the shrink is gone.
Yeah, it's not gonna shrink more than regular pair, sanforized pair of jeans.
That's true. I hope that all made sense. I know there was a little... Yeah, there's a lot of information there. Smoke writes, I feel like a soak wakes up the fabric, so I tend to pre-soak most of my denim, whether it be unsanforized or not. Yeah, this is true. The water definitely wakes up that fabric. That's why when you look at that tempi-treated denim, we use for our MIJ line, we do something called the tempi treating. It's essentially a wash. It's not a wash. It's a soak dry process. And when you take an unsanforized fabric, it looks beautiful. It's hairy on its own, but just a little bit of water, added to that denim, it plumps up the fabric a little bit. It makes it a little bit hairier. The blues are a little bit more vibrant. So it really does wake that fabric up. And I think it makes it look a little bit more beautiful.
Yeah. It's a great word to describe that.
Yeah. So
mix it up.
Yeah. if whether they're unsanforized or not, that first soak, it will invigorate that denim. Wake it up, invigoration. That's another video topic we should do. The benefits of pre-soaking your denims, right? Because a lot of people are like, don't wash it. Make sure those jeans aren't washed for 6 to 8, 10, 12 months. However, what's the rule? The denim police are gonna get you, right? Woo woo. Open up. We heard you washed your jeans. We heard you soaked your jeans. We heard you spilt water on your jeans. Don't tell, guys, don't, be careful. But no, there's no rules. I think it's, I think that's a good tip. That's a very good tip. I hope you guys liked my little play acting there. Woo woo. I just need a soundboard. Put on the red and blues. The denim, boom, 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 denim police. That'd be a fun skit. Gotta call the Portlandia people.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Is MIJ 10 a loom state denim that's been tempy treated? How hot asks. All of the MIJ denim, all the denim we use for the MIJ line is unsanforized with tempy treatment. Right? We there's no sanforized fabrics in the MIJ line. Electric Bamboogaloo 2. Oh, okay. The question was, I have yet to start that pair, but was worried it speeds the core showing. Okay, wait. I gotta go back to the other comment. Electric Bamboogaloo 2. Do you recommend soaking the rainbow core? I thought about it, but wasn't sure if I should. I have yet to start that pair, but was worried it speeds the core showing. Also, how does oil affect fading, like grease, cooking oil, etc.? I think if you pre-soak your rainbow cores, it'll probably help it fade faster. I think it'll wake up the fabric, it'll look a little bit more blue, and I think just the soak, I think it'll help it fade a little bit faster.
Yeah, I mean, it does, what soaking does is removing the starch.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but like, the surface starch that's put on the fabric. So it does the first...
That first layer that you would have to work off, it's gone.
It's off. So it is a good way to speed it up. But again, if it depends on what you want to achieve with it. If you want the very, very high contrast, very settled in creases, then you probably don't want to soak it, because soaking makes it a little bit less prone to
it's not as rigid, so it doesn't hold the creases as much. But with enough wear, those creases are going to form anyways. Yeah, they just won't be as sharp, I think. Yeah. Also, how does oil affect fading, like grease, cooking oil?
I don't know.
I've never soaked my jeans in oil before, so I don't know.
Oh, is that what he's
No, I don't think that's what he's asking. But I actually don't really know what you're asking. I
guess if you
if you work in a kitchen and your hands are oily often and you're rubbing your hands, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea how that would affect it. I think any moisture would rub away layers of indigo, whether it's oil or not.
Yeah, but I don't know if oil maybe protects indigo from fading. I don't know. Oil
the oil
always becomes darker, right?
Does it make the area hydrophobic? Because it's covered in oil, the water can't. I don't know. That is a good question. If you work in a kitchen, electric bamboogaloo, working in a kitchen, if you do work in a kitchen, you're going to have to report back to me so I have a good answer for that question if it ever happens in the future. Nobody's ever asked me that question before.
Yeah, and nobody ever really finds out, I guess.
Well, I'm sure we have a lot of customers who work or have worked in kitchens before, so somebody's going to have some experience, right? Somebody's going to have some experience. Let us know. That's a very good question. Venomous Teddy, that would be an interesting experiment. Soaking a pair of jeans in oil and then washing. What the F would happen? What would happen? If we had a production team
Yeah.
That would be a video I would make just because.
We actually could make that. We don't have to do the whole jean. Because,
yeah, why not? It'd just be, if we were going to make a video. Like, sometimes people do those, crazy videos.
What I'm saying is that if we don't have we do not have a production crew or anything like that, but we can make that video in a smaller scale.
Yeah, like cutting a piece of fabric, putting in a bowl of oil. I don't think that's interesting content. You got to take a bathtub full of oil, and you got to take like a bunch of jeans. You got to go crazy. It's the internet.
Cooking oil is expensive now, they say.
You know what? For the internet, it's worth it. You got to deep fry denim. Yeah, what would happen if you deep fried your denim? Then we got to deep fry it. We fry it. You do all the crazy things because people just want to. It's like you remember the hydraulic press channel. What happens when you crush a cell phone? We all know what's gonna happen when you crush a cell phone. But it's funny. We take the Kevlar, the Guardian selvage with Kevlar, and we know they're not bulletproof. But how many layers of Guardian denim would it take to stop a bullet? And then you go to one of those YouTube channels where they blow stuff up, and you layer up 50 pairs, and you say, okay, well this is like the army gun that they use to shoot through a tank, and all right, well it takes 75 pairs, right? And then we know. Smoke. Talcum powder is effective in removing oil stains when they are still wet. All right.
Some home ec for you.
Yeah, that's these are good tips. These are good tips.
These are real good life skills to have.
The amount of pizza oil that ends up on my jeans in my life, it's a guaranteed. It's a 100% chance that there will be a pizza oil stain on my jeans, right here, always.
I have recently discovered how oil stains are removed from clothing because industrial machines needs oil. It's not like home sewing machines. So you have to oil the machines, but then sometimes if you're not super careful, that oil gets on the fabric, and that happened to me a few times. So I figured out how to remove it. They have a special things that's.
Well, you gotta tell us now.
Well, it's like a spray, but I guess people who make clothing for a living all use this. It's just you spray it and then you kind of take it off, and then it creates a ring around that, because you can remove the oil stain like that, but then it creates because it's a spray and then it just does something, so it creates a ring. So there's a spray for
removing the ring. You gotta show us these sprays. Reese's got the sprays. Okay. Man 45, Naked and Famous Denim times KFC collab when? Man, if anybody here works at KFC HQ or knows anybody who does, give them my number. You tell them where to find me. I want to make it happen.
I actually love the design of this spray bottle.
So this is the oil removing spray?
Yeah. And this also says that it removes oil stains, but it mostly is used for removing the ring out of that oil stain.
Okay.
Cleaner.
Well, yeah, the packagings are great.
Yeah, this one's amazing. It's so old school.
What is this called?
Solvi Ace, and this is called Dry Solvi.
Okay.
So this one basically it becomes a powder. It's you spray it and then leave it for a few minutes. It becomes a powder, and then you just have to.
All right. I wonder if this would work on pizza stains.
We'll do an experiment.
We'll have to find out. Next time there's a pizza stain on my jean, we're gonna do it, and we'll try to make a video.
Yeah.
Any kind of dry powdery would probably work at the Moore. That's Smoke, right? Smoke. Be careful to wash all the talcum powder out because it's also known for causing cancer. All right. Talcum powder. Oh yeah, I think I've heard that.
But
yeah. I don't know if a little amount.
Is current talcum powder also the ones that you put on babies' butts and stuff? Is it causing cancer?
Don't know.
I feel like we've passed beyond that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Rubber band fades. Oh yeah, it's from the big stacks of money in my pocket. Could you speak on the possibility of GMTOs and pre-orders for niche or community-driven garments? I don't know what a GMTO. Sebastian Pilje writes. GMTOs. garments made to order, maybe. That is a possibility. Here's why we haven't really done that, and it just is a matter of time. And I don't have a lot of time. I don't think anyone on our team has a lot of time. And like, we're working, a lot. It's a lot. And my days are so full that adding extra projects becomes very, very difficult. We certainly do have to hire, but we need a lot of different kinds of people. But finding people who are I think our biggest problem with hiring is that like finding the right mindset of person is a little bit difficult. You have to find the person who's the raw denim person who also has these other skills you cannot teach passion, right? Like we've had employees in the past where like literally the last thing they could care about was denim. And it often showed in their work. And it became
they're not necessarily bad workers, but because it's not driven by passion that you don't go the extra step or
even trying to understand what you're you might have a person who's in charge of like doing photography, and it's like, okay, well here's the jeans on a model, and it's like, yeah, but you see, like we're trying to show off like how slubby this fabric is, and like can we how can we emphasize that with shadow or whatever? They're like, they're jeans, and like that drives me crazy, right? Like, so anyways, finding the right person who has the right mindset, you go through a few until you find, the right person. And we have a great team, and that's why we are so efficient, because everybody on our team is they're screwed in properly. And anyone who's not on our team is because they probably weren't screwed in properly, right? Or, life also moves on for some people too. We don't own everybody for the rest of their lives, but, so that's always kind of been a challenge for us. And, and that's our company works so well because all of us are. It's like, to me, it's like we're the the 92 dream team, right? We're that's it. Everyone here is the best at what they do. There's no like bench warmer on our team. We're all stars. We're all Hall of Famers, and when you bring in someone who's not quite at that level, that's okay, because if they have the passion, they're gonna get there.
But the interest to learn, you don't necessarily have to be a raw denim head coming in, but if you are interested enough that this is where I work, I want to know more about it, then that's the right attitude, and we can get them. Or
I want to make it better. Like I'm like, oh man, I really love what you guys do, but like I can add this and make it even greater. Cool. But there's a lot of people who are like, oh, okay, what's the job? All right.
Yeah.
Take the picture, do the thing, put that over there, and it's like, well, you didn't quite do it the way, and it's impossible to explain to someone who doesn't care how to care. So I'm sure whatever industry you're working in right now, you probably deal with the same thing. We do need more people, and we love denim lovers the most. How big is the team? Not big. So there's Brandon, me, Risa. There's Garrett, managing Tati and Yoko. There's Tammy. You guys never see Tammy. Tammy's incognito.
Tammy likes to be behind the scenes.
Tammy's all behind the scenes. She's not.
But she's mostly wholesale.
Customer service, wholesale on that end, sales. And then like we've got our factory team, right? So we're factory employees, the manager, and like the management and everything that goes on with that. But we
got Carol, the pattern maker.
Carol's our star pattern maker. And then we've got our New York team. Yeah. And that's it, right?
Basically.
That's basically it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we have our Tati and Yoko staff. Let's give them a shout out too, right? But like, Garrett is our manager there.
We got a very good like Tatenyoko warehouse the store team going on right now.
The store at Tatenyoko, including the warehouse staff, we've got 1, 2. What do we got?
Starting with Garrett, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 5 guys.
5.5, like a person
we have
who
part-timers
works in,
and stuff. So, and then New York, there's 3 staff over there. And then, like creative, like product development, like Risa, myself, and Brandon, we do all the product development. Risa and I and Tammy, we do all the sales. Risa and I do the websites. Garrett and I do all the content. And Risa also. We write the product copy. All the technical stuff for the website. Risa does all that. So, like, we do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right? We just wear a lot of different hats. So,
we also clean the sample room.
Yeah, we also sweep the floors and clean the sample room.
And we should put our packages when
we pack the orders too. We do the customer service. Like, there's, what I find is always funny. Like when sometimes I'm doing the customer service emails, people are like, "Wait, is this the Bayzat from the videos?" I'm like, yeah. So like, wow, I can't believe you're emailing me. I'm like, we're not as big as you think.
Right.
So a lot of people think we're very big, and we're not. So, we wear a lot of hats. Certainly, if you're in the Montreal area or New York or anything like that, let us know if you're interested in a career in raw denim, and denim in general. Creative people like video. That's one thing we I think is our big growth area that we need help in. But I think we need an in-house person for that.
Yeah. And, like you have to be somebody who is willing to do anything other than what you're hired for,
right,
too, because as we were just explaining, everybody has to pick up,
Sometimes you got to pack a box.
Yeah.
Right. It's like that's the kind of company we are, where if your job is like, well, I'm just here to do photos, well, at some point you're going to have no more photos to take, right? Like there's
priorities, and sometimes your priority is not necessarily what you're hired for.
Yeah. So, we all roll up our sleeves, we all do everything, and that's the kind of company we are.
But you get to learn a lot. Like you learn a lot about things that you didn't think you need to know.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah. Starting a brand, making a brand happen is not just the product. A lot of people are very focused on that, and they forget about the customer service. They forget about the aftercare. They forget about, delivering things on time, getting things to your customers. There's so much involved with building and making a brand happen. And I think because we are really good at what we do, we give off this incredible perception of being, a much bigger brand than we are. Ray in the house, Ray Tattooed Boy. I had a dream. I went to the Naked and Famous factory, and you said, check this out, and showed me that you can't do that on television, green slime collab. I said it was dumb, and then you punched me. I punched you. What was it on, you can't say that on television? They said something, and then the slime came down. Anyway, you probably didn't grow up with that show. And then they had Barfy's Burgers. I remember that. That was funny. It was, I love working with you guys. We love working with you too, Ray. Hey everyone, tuning in from Mississauga, El Sanchez, 1984. Welcome. Nice. Mississauga in the house.
In 1984.
1984.
Your classmate there.
Might have been. Yeah. El Sanchez, what high school did you go to? What high school? I think I might have asked this question before, but let me know. Oh yeah, they said I don't know. I don't know. If you said I don't know, then green slime would fall on you.
What kind of show is this? Wait, what?
You can't. You can't do that on television. It was a children's show. It was like skits and like comedy like that. Okay. And I guess the green slime, like people would get slimed all the time. And it was funny. Saint Famille, the French one. All right.
There's a French school.
I didn't even know there was a French school. Nice. Yeah, there were like French immersion schools. Yeah. TL Kennedy in the house. TL Kennedy. Kennedy High. The school that looked like the prison. Still does. Electric Bamboo Glue 2. Canadian SNL for kids. No French all day. No French all day. No French all day? Or I'm not sure.
French all day.
No,
comma,
French all day. Okay.
I don't know.
BD. Sorry to spam this. Don't be sorry. But can you explain Zan and why the Toxies... Can you explain Zane? X-A-I-N, Zan. Why the Toxies took... Wait, sorry. Sorry to spam this, but can you explain why Zane... Explain...
Why the Toxies look to be made of 8-inch sections? Are there other jeans like that?
I can't believe I couldn't read that. Anyways.
Yeah, I think Zane
is messing me up.
Yeah.
Well, so with the Toxic Avenger denim, it was a left-hand twill, right-hand twill, broken twill, alternating twill denim. Mm-hmm. And why does it look like it's made out of 8-inch sections? Is because it's an alternating twill. Mm-hmm. So for, I don't know if it's 8 inches, but for
8-inch seems
long.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit smaller than that, but for one section, it's woven in right-hand twill, and then another section is woven in left-hand twill, and then the other section is woven in broken twill. So that's why it looks different, because you're getting different constructions throughout the fabric. It was like the Frankenstein denim. The Frankenstein denim was the left-hand twill and the right-hand twill, alternating twill.
Yeah.
And then for Toxic Avenger, who's a super... oh my God. The Toxic Avenger, who's a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength, we wanted to make a hideously deformed denim of super denim size and strength.
Yeah.
So we combined 3 different weaving constructions in one jean, and that's why you get the way that it looks, like with like these blocks. All right, sorry, it's a lot of. I'm still confused about Zane. Hung up on that one. Any more collabs? Got Billy Weeks. More collabs, guys. Make it happen again. Who do you think you're talking to, man? It's coming. Of course it's coming. So if you haven't tuned in for a while, you know that the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure collab is in the works right now. We previewed some of the the first fabric, the Jotaro denim, last week, so you can check out last week's live stream. I put up the timestamps there, so you can check that out. We do have a new horror collab coming out for next year as well. I haven't announced it yet, and you guys haven't guessed it yet, which I'm very proud of. And I haven't spilt the beans yet.
It's this one's hard to guess because the idea is very out of. Well, you'll be like
You will, yeah. It will be an moment when it happens. You'll definitely get it.
Yeah.
And then anyway, we're in talks with some other stuff. So collabs are coming. Even brand collabs. We're doing a few talks on that right now. So you'll be very happy with some of the extra, mini capsule collections we have dropping here and there. See, a lot of people are guessing Phantasm, The Grudge, Psycho. Nope. Pretty How writes, hello from the middle of Top Gun 2 viewing.
Focus on
Top Gun.
What?
We watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Top Gun after. Get watching the movie. Yeah. Don't pay attention to me.
You can watch this later.
Yeah. Pay attention. James and Keating, Scream. That would be a lot of fun. Junior, Miss Doubtfire collab.
I haven't watched that movie since I was a kid.
That would be great. It was a run by fruiting.
You could mention all these things that I don't remember anything.
That's hello, and it was a run by fruiting. Those are my favorite lines in that whole movie. Slacks, not slacks. Pretty How, kidding, LOL. Well, I hope so. Yeah, we got upset. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey collab. Is there a horror version of Winnie the Pooh?
No.
Naked Famous X live stream salvage. A live stream salvage. What would that look like?
What would that be?
I don't know. Halloween. I would love to do Halloween one day. Ray Tattooed Boy, you can't do that on television. Don't punch me. Ha ha ha. I don't know. You know what? That would be kind of like. Here's the problem with. I don't know what that would be, right? And I just also don't know what that would be. Like, there are some properties out there that would sound kind of fun to do, you know, like these old shows, but some of them are maybe a little too obscure for, like, you know, people are like, oh, do a Kenny versus Spenny collab. I'm like, what would that be?
Yeah,
exactly.
what would that be?
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Simpsons I could understand, you know, you know, but there are some, like, someone's like, do a Family Matters, you know, do a Full House collab. I'm like,
yeah, there's certain things that you can do a lot easier. I find that, like, more cartoony things, like, you know, comic book or whatever, is a little bit more, because their personalities are very, like, colorful. Yeah. Like, it's... Yeah.
But, like, if you do it on a show, like, you know, like, I don't know.
It's a lot more difficult. Although we have great ideas for The Office.
But... We definitely have great ideas for The Office. I think The Office might be unique in that respect, because the characters are... Man, I mean, a lot of characters they're very cartoony in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and we know so much about it.
We know so much, and The Office also, there's so many inside jokes in The Office that I think there's an audience for creating a product based on a joke.
Yeah,
like, you know.
And a lot of people get those inside jokes too. Like, it's not like a small, you know, fraction of people.
We did Prison Mike jeans or, like, you know, Threat Level Midnight jeans.
Oh,
like,
Threat Level Midnight.
People would understand that. SoCram718, Carl Winslow would be great. From Family Matters. Carl Winslow was the dad.
Okay.
Like Urkel jeans. What would Urkel jeans be? Skinny and high, red suspenders? I don't know. Cheese smelling.
Cheese.
Yeah, he always asked if you had any cheese. Is the collab The Fly? No, you're not. You know what? Troll 2 would be funny. Oh my God, they're eating her. Now they're gonna eat me. Oh no. I love Troll 2. Troll 2 is funny. But what Troll 2, see, the problem with Troll 2 is, as much as I love Troll 2, and I'm sure that there is a following for Troll 2, it is not mainstream enough that we could even do that. Right? There has to be also enough of a following for us to be able to produce, because there's minimums and all this stuff involved with the fabric. So I wish we could make, you know, 100 pairs and call it a day, right? But it just doesn't work like that. So, yeah. Troll 2 is a little too, like, obscure, even more so than the Toxic Avenger. You know what I mean? Like, Trauma films, like, I think there's enough people who get Trauma films, but then you get into, like, you know, the worst of the worst movies, like, you know, Troll 2. Where it's like, you know, it's kind of hard. SpongeBob might be fun. Viewer's Choice Selvage. So Viewer's Choice, when I was a kid, that was like the pay-per-view channel. Like, you know, so they would have like trailers running all day, and it's like, you know, call in and then, you know, order a movie.
Huh.
Yeah. Viewer's Choice. That's it. That, I don't know. Did they have that in America? That's definitely a Canadian thing. Stranger Things collab would be pretty dope. I don't know. I
think that was just like I don't know. I didn't watch the latest.
After season 2, I kind of gave up on it. And even at the end of season 2, I was like...
I don't think we finished it.
No. See, I think Stranger Things was nostalgia porn, like, for the first season, and then we all kind of got over it.
Yeah, and I can appreciate it. It's just that, like, I personally wasn't, like, really into it. And I think people got out, like, it didn't last, I don't think.
Yeah. I think the Stranger Things train is on its way out.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised how, like, people don't, like, suggest Game of Thrones or anything like that. Because that seems to have been, like, the biggest thing. But nobody really said that.
One time we got approached for Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, I get it.
And I considered it.
Yeah. It's hard, but it can happen, I think.
Yeah, I just thought it would be in bad taste to make meth-themed jeans.
Yeah. That's true.
So I was like, I could make like a blue weft or something. I'm just like, but then I'm making meth jeans.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't know about that one.
Yeah.
That one's, I get, the customers would get it because the people who like Breaking Bad would get it. But I don't know. I didn't want to touch that one.
Yeah.
Smoke. Drugs are bad. Okay. Okay. Mr. Garrison. I would like South Park. South Park would be cool. Oh man, Heisenberg jeans. It could have happened. One day we're gonna. What are some of the jeans that could have happened and that never did? Heisenberg jeans. It's definitely one of them. Yeah, a lot of good suggestions here for collabs. Farrell writes, I have Prison Mike cufflinks. Prison Mike's amazing. Yeah, that's cool. There's always Better Call Saul. Right. We've watched a lot of it, but not all of it.
There's the newer episodes that we have.
People are saying it's really good, and we have to catch up on that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, collabs are an interesting, or the way we have to approach them is very interesting, because as much as they're we get a lot of responses from you guys, getting those agreements done. Finding the right thing. I think it is also just a balance of it having to be mainstream enough that people understand it, and that we can also do something with it, right? So something could be very popular, like, for example, maybe a couple years ago, Stranger Things was on top of the world. But what would that gene have been, right? Or series of genes have been. That's difficult. Like Marvel or comic book stuff, I can see that because we have a lot of characters, just like with the anime stuff that we do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters that you can really work with, especially because there's a lot of backstory to those characters, so you can pull out some of those elements and incorporate that into a fabric. But yeah, I think it gets difficult with certain movies, certain properties. It's just a lot. It's a lot to. You're really reaching sometimes when you try to put a product together with something. With
there's only so much that you can do with still keeping the denim, not because we don't want to do prints, we don't want to do too much of relying on that kind of thing. So we should still be able to have an idea that you can show in these denim, very restricted structure of denim.
The fabric should tell the story.
Yeah.
Would you ever do collabs with brands like the Ramones or the Misfits? I'm not opposed to doing a music themed, a band. Did you write band? Yeah, band. It's not brands. I'm not opposed to that. I think we don't. I guess it kind of walks a little bit of a fine line between we're not trying to push celebrity anything, right? In the sense that we don't use celebrities to push our products, and bands are maybe a little bit different because at one point they do walk the line of celebrityness, but they are also artists, and
they're also properties, just brand, a comic book or whatever.
It's a little different, Metallica jeans, it's like merch in a way. I don't know. I think that might be a little bit too far, right? Movies are one thing, right?
And it's a musician's thing is music, and how do you create music into?
I don't know. If you take the lyrics of something Misfits, there's a lot of obviously a lot of horror themes in Misfits that you could kind of incorporate into a gene. Metallica, you could take, favorite songs and lyrics and, pull, elements of that and I don't know. I don't know exactly what that would be, but I think music could be something one day. I don't know. I'm not there yet. But I'm not entirely opposed to
right. If the right fit.
Yeah, it was the right fit.
Yeah.
To be fair, at one point, right before the pandemic, we were talking to. There's a band from, I think, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Australia, New Zealand is like Canada, America. They're from New Zealand, called The Naked and Famous, and their management reached out to us and was asking. Anyway, we were just doing some brainstorming sessions, and Brandon was gonna go. He was going to LA. He was gonna meet with the guy. He was going to LA anyways. He wasn't flying specifically for that, but he was gonna be in LA. And anyways. Then the world shut down for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, nothing and nothing panned out after that. But that was the closest we ever got to doing a musical act kind of collaboration. And to be fair, I think in my mind, my justification was, if we're gonna do it, it might as well be with, you know, the Naked and Famous does a collaboration with Naked and Famous. Naked and Famous Denim with the Naked and Famous. That's pretty funny.
It is funny, and especially if like they reached out to us, like that's, you know, that's a good sign. That's definitely
we know we're on. You know, interestingly enough, like I remember. I saw an interview once where somebody asked them about the jeans, and I forget exactly what they said, but they I guess they acknowledged that they knew about us. And then there was once, like in Reddit, there was an AMA with them, and I was looking through it, and somebody asked them a jeans-related question, and I think it was out of like, they were kind of trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And then I answered. So like we know we're certainly on each other's map, but I mean, you know, maybe we'll meet each other one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, there was something else I don't remember at all. Pokemon collab, yeah, like Pokemon certainly I would be very game to do a Pokemon collab. I think what we could do with Pokemon would be pretty cool. You know, I've seen other, you know, apparel brands do Pokemon collaborations, but like nobody's gonna treat it the same way we would, right? Nobody would. Like we're gonna make like custom fabrics on these characters. Obviously, you know. I'm sure you guys have seen my Pokemon collection. I own a lot of Pokemon games. Let me just show a couple. I want to show a couple. I've been a while since I showed these.
You know what's amazing though? Like kids nowadays, like currently small children are still like very into Pokemon. And I don't know, there's something to it. Like I'm a little too old for the Pokemon like glory days. But it's fascinating to see like my friends' kids and stuff that are like really into Pokemon, and they don't even like play the game. They just like they're fascinated with the idea of like these little monsters with different characteristics, and they look different, and then they grow up to be something else, and it is a great universe that they created. I feel like if we were going to do a Pokemon collab with Naked and Famous, it would eventually have to be like so many jeans, and that it would be too much. Because how are you going to choose it? You know, we're not just going to do Pikachu or whatever.
No, you do 151 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single Gen 1
It's just going to be
Pokemon.
so much.
So, yeah, I've been a Pokemon fan for, you know, most of my life. I guess. I mean, it started with this guy right here. Got my original red box. This is a minty box, by the way. If you're a game collector, like, it's not sealed, but it is as minty as it can get. I mean, I'm very happy that I still have that nice and boxed up.
Did you buy these things?
Yeah, I bought these so I could protect the boxes later on. So, I mean, I've got a lot, but there's just a couple here. Here's my original silver version for Game Boy Color. Again, very, very minty, fresh box. I've got my Game Boy Advance, Fire Red, and Ruby. You know what? I always stuck with the reds.
Yeah.
Because my original red I got red, so I was always just buying the red version, and then later on I would just buy all of them. So I have, like, you know, Sun and Moon. I would buy everyone, because also, you know, when I was this age, this was like high school. I had friends who were playing, but by the end of high school and beyond, I didn't have any friends, so I would just play one game, and then I would play the other game, and then I would trade between myself.
Oh.
Right, so I didn't have to worry about having a friend or anything doing anything. Mm-hmm. And I also liked having the trainer, like I would always have my trainer name as myself. Mm-hmm. And then that way, like if I had a Pokemon that I traded, I would still have my trader name as like, you know, who you got that Pokemon from. Anyways, nerdy stuff. But and also like with the starters, I would get all the starters right at the start, because I would play the game you get your starter Pokemon, and then I would play the game up until the point where you could do your first trade, and then I would trade it to myself, and then I would restart that game and get the other starter. Because your starter Pokemons you can't catch in the wild. You can only get them right at the start of the game.
How many starters?
So there's 3 starters.
Oh.
So you pick one, and then those other two, you can't get them anymore unless you trade with somebody. Mm-hmm. And like nobody wants to trade their starter because, like that's usually their like strongest character because that's the one they started with. Anyways, Charmander for life. Good old Charmander. This is a Charizard. But I was a Bulbasaur kind of guy. I liked Bulbasaur. I think it's because of the Pokemon show. Ash had a Bulbasaur, so I had to get a Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur starter gang. That's right, man 45. So, I mean, look, if we ever did a Pokemon collab, I'm totally game, especially like for original OG Pokemon stuff. Like, I just haven't had the time in life to keep up with all the Pokemoning that's been going around. But, oh God, like if Brandon gave me unlimited budget and the mills were willing to do small production runs, I would literally do 151. I would do every one.
Okay, so 151, does that include ones that are like what when it's younger? It's this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, you know, if that includes all the evolutions. So yeah, they would, you know.
And that's it? That's all that they have?
In this game, but by now there's like thousands of them. So the first one there was 151. And yeah, so if you want to go through the evolution, I would. Yeah. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, you know, go just small incremental differences. But yeah, it would.
Or maybe it's something like you can fade it into.
Oh, that would be crazy. You would like a fading evolution denim, like a denim that's a good idea. See, that's a great idea. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like each gene would evolve. Like the fading of that gene would be somewhat, you know, it would correspond to the evolution of the character. Oh.
I don't know if that's possible, but
we would make it possible. We'd make it possible. Denim-based gym leaders would be fun. You know what we'd do? We would have at like certain Naked and Famous Denim locations. We could have like a stamp rally. So you get like a little card, and if you visited like, you know, Tatinyoko, and you went to Naked Famous New York, or you went to James Dance, or you went to Blue Owl, or you went to like Service Menswear in Austin, or, you know, like Flenner in France, or like, you know, Pronto, or like you get the stamp, and if you got all the stamps, you send it in, and maybe we would give you like the legendary Missing No. Yeah, if you got all the stamps, then we'd send you like Mew. Like you would. That's the only way to get the Mew gene, or the Mewtwo, whatever. We'd make some rare Pokemon denim that you could only get if you completed the stamp rally.
Yeah. Wow. That would be fun.
Boom. All right. So, anyways, Pokemon. I think at some point in our life, I think we could get it. I would say that. Yeah, I think we would be. I think it would happen. We just have to really push and get it. But that would be really cool. It'd be really cool. Riley O'Brien writes, Bezat and Risa. I'm pretty sure Bezat had mentioned this in the past, shortening the inseam on his jeans with scissors. Do you have a consistent length, Bezat, or do you just do what feels right? It's pretty much what feels right. So I wear my jeans. I'll put them on, and it's hard to see here maybe, but I'll usually just have the jean to wherever I think it looks right. There, I did it basically just to the floor, and I folded the jean up, marked a line, and cut. That's it.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go to all the Naked and Famous locations. Yeah, that would be... That'd be fun. When Pokemon first released in Japan, I got one of the first ever Charizard cards, something you never forget. You know, I never got into the cards. I never got into the cards. I had like a friend give me some kind of starter deck pack, and I never learned how to play. I never got into collecting it. I'm sure that's somewhere in my mom's house somewhere. But I never got into collecting Pokemon cards. I think at that point I was over. I used to collect different cards. I used to collect like Marvel cards. And I also used to play a game called Marvel Overpower. And I was really into that for a long time, but I didn't have a lot of money, and I just felt like card collecting was not... When I was a kid, I like collecting trading cards, basketball cards, all that kind of stuff. And then I also had this idea that they were worth some kind of money. And then you realize that they weren't worth any kind of money. I'm sure it seems like they're worth something today. I don't know how that whole industry works. I think a lot of the buy-sell industry is being overtaken by people who are inflating the market.
Yeah, it's really dishonest.
It's really dishonest. You know, I hate NFTs. I think I've mentioned this before. And I watched a video the other day. I'm not going to say what video. I don't want to put anyone I don't put anyone down, but I watched this one video where it was a pretty predominant like fashion person talking about, you know, their business and like all their cool stuff, and then it just segued into NFTs. I'm like, oh, this was a commercial for NFTs. And he's like, oh yeah, I have this NFT, and you know, I wasn't really sure, but then some people told me about it, and now it's worth just under $500,000, and I didn't pay even close to that amount. And I'm just like, and I also find it unusual that there's a lot of people in like the streetwear community that push this on, you know, their audience a lot. And, you know, on television, when you are like on the news, if you're reporting on the financial stuff, like if you're tied to the company, I think you have to disclose that. I think that's a law, right? But like, I don't think that's not happening in this world, right? There's so many of these like influencers that are like, oh, this NFT, that NFT, oh, it's going to be worth something. If anyone's going to tell you it's going to be worth something, they're lying to you. But I also feel like these guys are definitely involved in these companies.
Right.
And now they're telling you to go and buy this thing, and it's going to be worth more money, and like it's
yeah, now the regulation would come for sure, but in the infancy of these kind of ideas, there's always like, you know, ways to like, because the system isn't strong enough to protect everybody.
Well, I don't think there needs to be regulation in this respect. I think it's going to crash and burn, but I just want people to remember, like it's going to crash and burn.
Yeah.
But I want people to remember. I really want people to remember the faces and the names of the people who told them that they should be buying this stuff, and that it's going to be worth money. Like, don't forget the people that screwed you. Like, just don't. Like, when they screwed you on this, and then they're going to tell you, about something else later on, remember it.
But the problem with the, I mean, you mentioned streetwear industries, is that like when that's happening in like from a big influencers in that community, then everybody else is like knowingly spreading the word without, maybe their stake's not in there, but they're just spreading the words because that you think that is happening. And then it's just like, in a way, like you might have heard it from person A, but person A might not be the person who had the, the intention of gaining it themselves. Maybe it was just like, oh, this is cool, like, because everybody cool is talking about it. And I mean, I don't know.
I just, whenever I'm on those streetwear blogs or forums or like, people on Instagram, I know what they're doing. And
yeah, it's very sneaky way to do it, especially like when you're talking about, I mean, streetwear industry in general, it's like there's a lot of things like inflated
sneakers,
value.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, things already that I think maybe they just feel like it's a good fit because people are willing to spend money on things that really shouldn't cost that much. Yeah. And it doesn't cost that much. But
Yeah. They're so used to the inflated everything. Oh, well, this sneaker was rare, and if I buy it, it's going to be worth, 10 times the amount on eBay if I flip it. So I'm used to already making purchasing decisions based on this. And now here's this stuff that isn't even real, right?
Yeah.
And
literally, you can't put a hand on it.
Yeah. So I guess they're taking advantage of a market that's already used to
the abuse of
right. And there are a lot of winners. There are a lot of winners in that world, but there's a lot more losers. Anyways, so every now and then, like the NFT talk, I brought it up this time, but sometimes people mention it, and I saw a video like that this week, and I was really taken aback by it. I was very offended. Very offended. Venomous Teddy, the streetwear NFT stuff is just overinflating assets without actually trading assets. Yeah, that's my opinion on that. That's for sure. Somebody out there might have a different opinion. Somebody might be really into it. Maybe. If you are, let us know why. Denim based on the gym leaders would be fun. We're talking about Pokemon again. Mm-hmm. Sure, but I think obviously the Pokemon characters are more influential than that. Like, I mean, as far as gym leaders, maybe it's just because I'm old and all I remember is Misty and Brock, because they joined Ash on his journey. Is Ash the guy with the red hat? Yeah. Is that his name here too? In Japan, I don't know what his name is. Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a Japanese name.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not. Good question. BD, which Naked Famous jean would you bring back tomorrow if you could? Oh. This is good, and it'll also segue into a topic that we said we were going to look into last week that we found the answer for this week.
Okay, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
The one I would bring back, vintage blue. The original vintage blue, I would bring that back in a heartbeat. We were actually talking to... we did some fabric meetings this week, and we were talking about that one, which segues into green cast. So last week, the question came up. How
Satoshi is Ash. I've heard of Satoshi. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. There you go. Okay. So last week somebody brought up like how is green cast denim made, and in the chat the response was, well, a little bit of green tint is added to the dye, and I said yes, and then we kind of went into the technical bit of it, and it's true, but it's just when the dye is applied, or when the tint, and it's not green tint, it's actually yellow tint. So there's something called top dyeing and there's bottom dyeing. So top dyeing is when you dye the yarn. So before it goes into the indigo bath, they would dye it yellow, a little bit of yellow, like a tint of yellow. Then it would go into the indigo rope dye bath, and then it would come out a little bit green. Or they would do it at the end. So they would say that they would do the indigo rope dye, and then they would run it through a little bit of green dye at the end, and then that is what it would give the green color.
Yeah,
to a dark indigo denim.
Yes, what I think is maybe that's what you meant, but it sounded like you would do the like a yellow dye first and then put it in the indigo. I think what they were saying was that the within the rope dyeing process, you know how like dark indigo would go through the rope dyeing process, it goes through like many baths of indigo many times, how it gets darker, or if you're talking about lighter indigo denim, it goes through like a lot less baths of indigo to
fewer dips.
So what I understood it to be, like I knew that there was bottom dye and top dyeing, but what they were saying, what I understood them to be saying was that like you would put those like the dyes, sulfur dyes, in the beginning of those baths or the end of the baths. So it is still the rope dyeing one like process, but the just like you would change the number of indigo depths in that process, you would add like the yellow in the beginning or yellow baths at the end.
Yeah.
And they're both, when it's green cast, it is always the sulfur dye, and that's why you can do the whole rope dyeing within that like.
So it's a mix of sulfur dye and rope dye, and then depending on
rope dye the whole way, but right. A mix of sulfur dye and indigo baths.
Oh, right. So sulfur dye on the yellow.
Yeah.
And then indigo rope dye. Well, rope dye all the way, but sulfur dye is the yellow part, and then indigo is the blue part. Yeah. And so you have a yellow either at the start or at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I heard the most recently from a reliable source. My understanding was that maybe you dye it separately, like you would pre-dye it or after diet, post diet. But it's like I think it was that it's one process that's you do in different orders.
Okay, well there you have it. I hope that makes more sense.
Yeah. I don't know if it's confusing.
I think it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I wasn't sure when the, when the tint was added. Mm-hmm. And so now, basically, the tint is added at the start or the end, and not just added into the indigo itself.
Yeah.
So
and the difference is that, like, if you want it more green, like more visibly green, they would put it at the end, and the vintage blue. It's probably at the end because it does look very
with fewer dips of indigo.
Right.
So you got to control the blue. Basically, it's a mixing of blue and yellow to create green, mm-hmm. and how much blue and how much yellow there is gonna dictate that.
Yeah.
Which way were the pickle ricks made?
I would.
If it's more green, if that was more green.
Yeah.
So.
But was it?
I can't tell you exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one.
Probably at the end.
Maybe at the end, because there's less. Yeah, it's pretty dark.
And then it's pretty green.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Melody Murray asks, do you have a pair of original vintage blue jeans? I do. In the Montreal office, I got my own pair sitting in my office, but I don't have one here. Risa, what's your comeback jean of choice? Which jean would you bring back?
It's very difficult. I don't know. I really don't know.
All right, well, give that some thought, right? And then we'll get back to you on that one. The Blancas are a dark green cast pair. That's right. So we've done a lot of green cast denims in our history. We're no strangers to green cast. Lavender selvage. We've done a purple selvage, like a purple denim before. It had an ostrich leather patch. I think Brandon might have showed that off, like with Stridewise. He did a video with Stridewise where Nick came to the office, and Brandon showed off some of our weirder jeans in our collection.
It's like, well, I was thinking, like maybe if you asked me that question like a month or a year ago, I would have said blanket line is one of those things, and scratch and sniff was another thing. Yeah. But now we're bringing those coming back. Yeah. So I don't know.
Stay tuned. Yeah, we are revisiting the classics a little bit more these days. Mm-hmm. Now we're approaching our 15-year anniversary. 15. That's pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. For those people who've been in and around, because my first, I guess, when I started with Naked Famous, I was the first employee. I didn't know too much about the industry. I was a fan. I was a retail salesperson, but I didn't know how it all worked, right? And then you start going to trade shows, you start meeting friends, and you're like, wow, that brand is here and this brand is here. I know those brands, right? And that's the owner. And like you start meeting all these people, and then it's like these brands come and go, right? And these brands that are like in magazines and all over the place, and you're like, wow, they're on GQ and they're in here. I'm like, and now they're gone. And it's like, it's amazing how many brands have come and gone over the years. How many raw denim brands have come and gone over the years in our, during our existence, and like we're still here. And like brands that were way bigger than us have come and gone. And it's like, how did that happen? They used to sell to every department store in the world, and they were here and they were gone. Mm-hmm. So we're still alive. I think that's incredible. We're still growing. We're not at those, the grand heights that maybe some of the brands that have come and gone have been to, but there's still room. Mm-hmm. We're still on that trajectory, and you guys have been along for the ride. So I appreciate all the fans, and you allow us to do what we love to do, right? Mm-hmm. If it's not for you guys, we don't get to do it. So it's I'm very grateful for all of that always. Mm-hmm. And I also, part of these live streams for me is it's an education tool. I want to share my passion with raw denim. I also want to teach you more about raw denim. The more you can learn about it, the more we can also create crazier things, right?
Yeah, like there's like a certain like a hidden aspect. Like they like to make denim making a little bit mysterious other people, and I really don't like that about like a certain you know,
there's like, oh, there's a secret this and that. I'm like, number one, that's all of that is a lie, right?
Yeah, there is a lot of like different aspects to it, and I personally believe that like there's people who are very knowledgeable, but nobody has all of the knowledge because there's so many aspects to denim making that like somebody is like a very knowledgeable person in like materials or dyeing or
machine operation.
Yeah, like all these people get together, then it had you can really make the whole knowledge like come together, but nobody is really that in one person a master of denim, and I think that's the beauty of it, and I think we should just maybe open it up a little bit more so that people can put in like because there's all these great ideas, and some things are doable and some things are not doable, and I think it's like fun to brainstorm how can we make that happen. And or
sometimes it's fun to brainstorm with the mills or the people at the mills, because sometimes they've got crazy ideas that they're like, nobody's gonna use this.
Yeah, nobody wants this
except you guys, right? Like, I want to create this crazy thing. Like, they're just as passionate about denim, but they're like, they might be selling fabric to like giant corporations. They're not gonna. They want basic. They want cheap, right? And for us, we're not looking for basic, and we're not looking for cheap. We're looking for interesting, innovative, crazy, right? And like, anyway, we're doing our meetings. We found some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Anyways, we're gonna get some samples soon.
Yeah.
Crazy. And like nobody's gonna use this. And like when we pick it up, like, and we're touching it, we're looking at it, and they're like. Only you guys. Like
we literally like I feel like we met our match in like terms of craziness, and they're like a little bit more, because ultimately like if you're making fabrics, then you have to sell that to a brand who can make it into something that they can
do something that they can sell, that they can do some volume with.
And so like obviously like we were on this side and they're on that side, so it's a great match.
We have a good partner that knows what we like and can do it,
and that comes up with the craziest insane idea we've never even thought of.
We certainly have a very like, there's a different mill. Like, a lot of people, as far as secrets go, a lot of people know the names of certain mills, but this is not. This is different. This is an independent guy. Anyways, not gonna get too much into that. That's my ace in the hole. We've got a few like nobody knows about kind of situations going on, but
well, like we don't have to like disclose our supplier and stuff like that, but the how it's made, how it can be made, things like that. I think it's a knowledge that we can share publicly, and
like how it's made, better. No problem. Would you return skeleton shirt? Like, would we redo this shirt? Maybe.
I feel like this was like the last of the fabric.
Maybe.
And we just kind of made it whatever we had, but we could find similar fabric. I always.
We're both wearing like kind of older Aloha shirts today. I'm wearing Aloha. Risa's wearing Camp Collar. If you check out the Tate and Yoko like sale sections, like sometimes we have like random sizes of some of the older stuff that's really good, and it's on sale. So take advantage of that. Okay. BD, going to need to do some saving up for the end of the year and next. So many great jeans on the way. It's true. And you've got another little kind message here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everybody. I didn't ask anyways. We're approaching almost 2 hours. I didn't ask you to like and subscribe this entire time. So now is definitely a good time to like and subscribe to the Naked Famous Denim YouTube channel. Let's get those likes up, 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 up. And if you haven't subscribed already, become a subscriber today. I know not everybody's a subscriber. I know you might think you are because, you tune in every week and all that stuff, but sometimes you're not. I've certainly found that in my own, YouTubing experience because I get all the recommendations and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But become a subscriber. It helps us grow, helps me know that we're on the right path, and I always appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. We don't monetize this channel, so it's not like we're. If you haven't noticed, like, there's no ads that run in front of our videos at all. Like, I don't monetize this channel. We're not trying to make money off of YouTube. So yeah, it's not so I can I don't know. Subscribing, I like it. I like to see the growth. We don't monetize. I don't know where I was going with that. Doesn't really matter.
Please and subscribe because we can spread the word of Great Raw Denim community this way.
But that's why I love Naked and Famous. Great ideas, and you guys are super helpful and friendly. Naked and Famous Denim for life. And that's from Ray Tattooed Boy. Thank you very much, Ray. Reverse Fox Fire with natural brown on the outside and super soft Pima on the inside. It's a good idea.
I was going to say, like, brown fox was one of my favorite fabrics, and I wish we...
We'll do more fox fiber in the future. Yeah, there's another material called Ultimate Pima that is another American... an American long staple fiber, and organically grown. It's pretty crazy, and I kind of want to use that in something. And I think it might, because I was talking to Sally, and she knows the folks who grow the Ultimate Pima, and like doing a Ultimate Pima fox fiber, like, this is gonna be so expensive. It'll be so expensive, but I think it'll be kind of cool. So anyway, that's in my mind. Yeah, there's Pima cotton, there's Supima cotton, there's Pima, Supima, and then Ultimate is like the 1%. Mm-hmm. It is the best of the best. Mm-hmm. Coming soon. Venomous Teddy, when did you guys say you would be releasing the Fall Winter 22 preview video? That'll probably come like end of July, start of August. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a couple weeks away, and we'll release that preview video for you guys. We're still releasing Spring Summer 22 stuff. So we got the Sky High denim coming out on June 10th, and we have the Ultralight Tech denim coming out either on the 17th or the 24th. So I'll make those formal announcements very soon.
Mm-hmm. And that's it, right? Like that's
the Ultralight Tech would be the last of Spring Summer 22 collection. Then we have we have the Crimson Sky coming out next Friday. I think there's going to be a restock of the Loom State selvage. So if you're looking for a pure raw Loom State unsanforized denim, no rinse washes or anything, you want to go through that shrink process yourself, we're doing a little bit of a restock on that. And that'll probably happen, I think, sometime in June as well. Mm-hmm. And then July will be... end of June, start of July, we'll have the Can America Day sale. Mm-hmm. So that'll happen, just leading up to July the 1st, which is Canada Day. Mm-hmm. Which is, let's take a look at the calendar. That's a Friday. So maybe on the 29th, we'll probably start the Can America Day sale. So instead of our Wednesday 24-hour special, we'll start the sale on the 29th. And that'll run through probably till the 5th, maybe even the 6th. So like a whole week of savings. We'll have special promotions on some jeans. So jeans probably selling at like $98 or $118 kind of price range. We'll do further markdowns on our sales section. We'll add some new items to the sales section as well. We'll do discounts on non-Naked and Famous Denim items. So not everything will be on sale. A lot of things will be on sale. Can America Day sale. That kind of leads up to the first of... there'll be Can America Day sale. Mm-hmm. Then there will be a Labor Day, that'll be a smaller promotion. And then when we get into October, Canadian Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and then Boxing Day. Mm-hmm. So October, November, December, those are the big 3 sale events along with Can America Day sale. So those are our sale events of the year.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be a busy, like the later half of the year. Always like so many events, and
there's so much product releasing. So it's a lot of product releases, a lot of videos to create.
Full on fall, which is a big collection, and then we have the JoJo. We have the
sales each month.
Yeah.
And we have a collection to develop. So we're gonna have to develop spring summer 23. Yeah.
23.
Wait.
I mean, 23 is almost
spring summer 23 is done. So we'll be doing fall winter 23. Mm-hmm. That'll be happening probably in around October-ish. October, November. We're doing. Yeah, fall winter 23. We got all those sales stuff. We're gonna have to do a bit of traveling. It's gonna be like the last part of the year is there's no rest. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with us. Because this is our rest. This is my rest. Wearing brown fox today. So drapey. Electric bamboo glue too. Great choice. Great choice. When did you guys say you'd be releasing the fall winter preview video? I said that. So end of July, August. Snacks and flicks today. You got it. The more. I introduced a friend to Naked and Famous, and she was offended by the patch. Risa, have you encountered women having offense to the Naked and Famous Denim logo? And if so, how do you respond?
I have encountered, like in person, I have encountered somebody who wasn't personally offended, but she was a buyer for like a store, and she was like, well, I think my customers would be offended, so I cannot buy these jeans, kind of thing. I've never, we've gotten emails from personally offended people all the time.
Also, I'm just going to chime in. Men tend to be more offended by it than women, I have found.
Well, I mean, we're mostly men's brand, so we have a bigger reach in men. I think that it is, if you're offended, I'm not going to be the person who's like, no, you shouldn't be offended. But the only reasoning that I would say is that, like, well, this is a cartoon. It's not like we're putting on like actual person's nudity on our products. We're not trying to like cash in on that. This is a cartoon. You can draw it with like a few lines. It's not even like a detailed depiction of something. So it's kind of funny how, like, we can be offended by a cartoon, but we are, especially in, North America, modesty is not a thing anymore. So to me, I feel like it's kind of a hypocritical to be like, oh, this is so offensive, I can't wear this jeans, because there's a cartoon of, somebody who's half naked, but you can walk around with, your leaving nothing to the imagination. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I mean, the logo itself is supposed to be satirical, right? We are making fun of the Hollywood celebrity, obsessed culture. This idea that this is the ideal beauty. We see this in art all the time, and that's why we used a pop art like logo design.
Yeah.
And look, we certainly live in a world now where I think sometimes we just see things and we're reactionary about it, and we think, oh, well, that is bad, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that involved there. I think, at the end of the day, it is a cartoon. One of my favorite kind of instances of like kind of, we had a customer who had they're based in a mall, and they had our banner in their window, and the mall said to the store, you have to take that down, right? You can't have that in your window. And in the same mall, there was a Victoria's Secret, which has buxom beauties, have giant posters on the outside of their, no problem, right? So like I always found it odd that like people would quickly be like, well, that's offensive, but that's perfectly okay. Whereas like in my understanding of, when it comes, and this is kind of the controversy that I like that it brings, because when you look, especially with this comparison, you look at like the modeling industry and kind of what we've done to reinforce certain, beauty standards. What has that done to how has that actually affected people, right? It has done so in a very, very real and negative ways, whereas our cartoon has done none of that, right? This is a cartoon making fun of this being, literally, it's there to make fun of this being the beauty standard that every other brand in the world will use real, live human beings who've kind of been conformed into a box to look a certain way, right? And has reinforced that to a lot of people, millions of people, who have maybe caused some real world damage. Nobody, well, not nobody, but people are critical of that. But certainly, like, we don't do any of those things, right? Yeah. The fact that we don't do any of those things is like, nobody's like, oh yeah, you aren't doing all the stuff that is actually negative, and the thing that you're using is kind of making fun of that, right? So nobody wants to look at the deeper meaning of things. A lot of people see things right here on the surface. And did I do a beauty post? Yeah, beauty post. So anyways, it's a bit of a gray area. Look, I know the times that we're in. That said, we understand that there are people who don't want that logo
and that's fine.
On their patch.
You can't, like, right? If you don't want a rainbow colored jeans, that's fine too. Like, it's the same thing, if you don't like certain things about our jeans, you don't have to buy it. We're not forcing you to buy it. Yeah. It's just that you have to live in the world where certain people are offended and certain people appreciate it. Yeah. Like, it's...
So, that said, we do have, we've got 2 new patches coming, right? We've got the base minimal Naked and Famous patch. So it'll be the Naked, basically just a leather patch with a little minimal text logo in the corner. So if you want a jean that isn't so, in your face. Well, I don't think our leather patches are very in your face anyways. Like, we don't do full color ones. They're always kind of, to me, it also reminds me of like, if you're a fan of Paul Smith, Paul Smith, a lot of his products have like little pinups like hidden like underneath the cuff or things like. I always kind of like that about the Naked Famous patch because it's harder to notice and you kind of really have to see it to know that it's there. That said, look, I know some people don't want that on their clothes. No problem. We've got a new minimal text patch coming out, and I didn't announce it yet, but I'm gonna announce it soon. Anyways, Ray's in the chat, so I'm gonna do it. But Ray, our good friend, is a wonderful, talented artist, and we also have the new. We're gonna have a male version of the Tragic Blonde, essentially, coming out very soon, and it's gonna play into the same tropes as Hollywood glamour, and then kind of like what we do with men in movies, and in what we expect of men, kind of to be in that world. So it's going to play off of the same, tropes that we put on kind of women in Hollywood and glamour. We're doing that same thing with males, and so we'll have an alternate version. So
they're a very good match. They're
they really work well. Yeah. Ray did an incredible job, beautiful job. I think you guys are gonna really love it. Anyways, we're gonna announce it soon. I'm just waiting for the inventory of the leather patches to arrive. And then it'll be a customization feature. So if you want like the minimal patch, we can change the leather patch out for you. Or if you want the male figure, I'm gonna give him a special name.
Oh, just in time.
Oh, just in time.
Some,
right?
Spammer here.
Yeah, we have our. Oh, right. We're here we go. So thank you very much for. Hi. Yeah, there we go. See you later. Bye bye. Okay. So anyways, I hope that provides you with some kind of explanation on it.
But don't worry about it if somebody's offended by your jeans patch, because those people are offended by anything, and there's nothing you can really do to stop them from being offended.
People are entitled to their feelings, and look, I respect that, no question about it, but it's your choice. If you want to have clothing with that on there, you can have it. If you don't want it, you don't have to have it. If you like the jeans and you would rather not have that on there, that's fine. We're gonna have an option for you too. Our aim was not to offend or to disparage anybody with this.
take advantage. We didn't think that just because we have naked lady on the patch that we're gonna sell more jeans. That's not what we're doing.
Also, I would say that don't presume anything about,
Oh, you haven't seen everything about
it. It's just, right. So don't, it could be the interpretation of the image is up to you. It's art, it's pop art. It is up to you. You determine what that means to you. We know what our inspiration was for creating that. You interpret it your own way. It's art. So, he, she, it's a cartoon, right? It is a cartoon. It is not a person. It will never be a person. And yeah, so anyway, we can go on. I do like this topic. It is a fun topic for me to discuss. And I'm so glad that mall incident happened because it really, for me, and that happened many years ago, right? And it really instilled to me the insanity of this, who are we protecting? In one sense it's we're being puritarians, and then the other sense it's remember the whole Free the Nipple campaign, which I'm perfectly fine with, right?
Yeah.
And it's we could have this messaging and that messaging happening at the exact same time, and sure, you know what? Both arguments are valid. I will listen to both. No problem. Brainstar. I think the Naked and Famous branding might make it difficult to do some collaborations, like with brands that are family-oriented for kids, like Pokemon or Nintendo. Maybe, but you know what? We worked with a department store in Kansas City called Hills, and for a lot of people who don't know,
Hills?
No, Halls.
Halls. Yeah.
Halls. So there's a department store in Kansas called Halls, and it was owned by Hallmark. It still is owned by Hallmark. And we worked with them for many years. And when we started with Hallmark and with Halls, we actually had to send them an approval for our logo. And that was a family-friendly company, and they were like, this is fine, right? There was no problem with it. They were like, okay, this is cool. The only place in the world where that logo became a problem was Saudi Arabia, right? But
even then, we just had to take off the colored.
Yeah, we had to take off the colored hang tag, and then it went through no problem. So even in the most restrictive, maybe it's not the most restrictive, but it seems to me like it can be a very restrictive place when it comes to that kind of stuff. Even all we had to do was get rid of the colored hang tag, and the rest was fine. So sometimes I feel like there are some people who look for problems, and if you look for problems, you're going to find problems. But I think as far as family-friendly stuff, maybe it might be, but we haven't had any issues to date. The Moore. I told her the patch is removable and not on every pair of jeans. I love Naked and Famous for the fit and unique fabrics, customer for life. Well, thank you very much. And now you can say that you can have a plain leather patch. If you choose, we will have that as an option for you. And we also have unbranded, so there's no graphics on that at all. It's a mega low threshold to be offended by a patch logo. Right, W5. I mean, if it was, I'm sure someone could create one that is mega offensive, but I think ours is in the PG-13 territory. I mean, it really is. Anyways.
I mean, we've had variation of.
We've had variations that are certainly a little bit more raunchy than others. Anyhow, we're not afraid of the female cartoon nude body. Or male. We're gonna get them all of them. Okay. We're gonna leave that topic there. I hope it was informative. If you want to bring it up again, you have any questions, we're always happy to answer that. Now, BD Ray, please tell me it's Burt Reynolds. Wait and see, Mr. BD. Don't try to sneak information out from underneath me. Sokram 718. Will New York store ever have leather patches available in the future? We're working on it. We're working on them being able to do that alteration. So that is something that will happen in the future. It won't happen right at the start for when these jeans come out. Ray Tattoo, do you want me to start on a mega offensive patch? Let's hold off on that one. Let's hold off on that one.
Now is not the good time.
Okay, so let's talk about movie time.
Yeah.
Because yesterday we watched the new Top Gun. Mm-hmm. You have to go watch it.
Mm-hmm. And we watched it on the release day, and we started in like 11 or something in the morning. So we like, it wasn't the first showing of the day, but it was pretty early.
Pretty early. We had to see it. Yeah. We went to a Dolby Cinema, so it's kind of like IMAX, giant screen, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision. Beautiful.
Seats are pretty good.
Yeah, seats were good. Yeah. We were like pretty dead center. Yeah. If you could see it in IMAX, see it in the biggest screen, best sound you can. You definitely want to experience this. You want to feel the sound, right?
If movie theaters are for anything, it is for this movie.
Yeah. If you watch this movie on your cell phone, you are doing yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice.
Screen.
Yeah.
Monitor.
Yeah. Watch it as big and as badass as you can. Fantastic movie. So we're going to go into movie review time, or not movie recommendation time, and of course, it's Top Gun. And look, I got Top Gun on HD DVD, okay? Got it on Blu-ray. Steelbook Blu-ray. This also includes the DVD, and I also have a DVD of it somewhere, like one of the original DVDs. I don't have it on VHS, but I wouldn't have it. Anyway, I don't need it. And then I also have it on the 4K. So, you know what? If you can watch it on, if you're gonna watch Top Gun, watch it on the 4K with this has got Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, best sound, everything you can. That's the one to watch. But look, anyway you can enjoy Top Gun, you enjoy it, even if it's on HD DVD. Okay, if you still have one of these, you're a real winner like me.
But yeah,
look at how cool he looks. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
But let's just say it did not disappoint, even in the slightest.
Yeah, I was so jacked up after the movie, and one thing that's interesting about Japanese movie theaters is that they sell merch outside of the right in the concession area. So they had all this like Top Gun merchandise. You can buy T-shirts, you can buy mugs. You had like these patches, and I'm just like.
We were kind of like tempted.
I was very tempted to buy a lot of stuff, and people were like as soon as the movie was over, everyone was there, and they're like, okay, let's grab some stuff. But I don't know why we don't do that in the West. It makes sense. They should have the movie poster, they should have the mug, they should have the T-shirt, they should have pins, they should have all that kind of stuff. When's the best time to get somebody for that stuff? I was amped. I'm like, you know what else in the States? They should have if you're gonna join the Army. Or the Navy, the Air Force, whatever. The recruiters need to be standing right outside the movie theater.
That seems a little
This is definitely an Army recruiting video, but you feel this is 100%. You're gonna the amount of Army people signing up for the military after this movie is just gonna skyrocket. Mm-hmm. Everyone looks so cool in this movie. It just looks so cool. When's the Top Gun collab happening? Man,
I wish.
Let me.
Now, we're really hyped up about this.
Yeah, I'm jacked up right now. Brainster, I was too young to watch Top Gun, but I played the NES game. Notoriously hard to play that game. The Angry Video Game Nerd did a whole video on that one. Okay. And so, anyways, Top Gun Maverick, definite must watch. Watch it in the best theater you can. You will not be disappointed. Great film. I won't give anything away other than that. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have Top Gun this weekend, you can't acquire it, I'm going to recommend a movie that is similar to Top Gun. Blue Thunder. This is the poor man's Top Gun. But if you like aerial stuff, this is a pretty good movie.
It's not bad.
It's not a bad movie. It is a lot. There's a lot. It's helicopter action, right?
Yeah.
Top Gun, fighter jet action, helicopter action in the city.
Yeah.
I actually like this movie. So, Blue Thunder, check it out. I think a lot of people miss this movie. They might not even know it exists.
There isn't like a lot of
There's
famous
huge,
people in there. Like it's not a big blockbuster.
Yeah, it's not a huge. There's not a huge following for this one, but yeah, for an obscure recommendation, check out Blue Thunder. I forget the name of the helicopter in this one. I'm not really good with the model names or that kind of thing, but it looks pretty badass. It's a badass looking helicopter in this movie. Roy Schneider, Blue Thunder, or main recommendation, Top Gun. Okay, so there you have it. That's movie recommendations for this week. And, you know, the homework for, like, movie and snack, impossible.
It is impossible.
I can't do it. So we're bringing out some limited edition.
We did this before. No?
Did we do this before?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Show of hands if we did this before.
Well, we gotta wait a minute.
All right. Well, yep.
Behind.
Well, we might have done it before.
Oh, it certainly did.
Or watch Shots. Hot Shots Part 2. Yeah.
I mean, not everybody watches it all the way till end every week, so.
All right. Well, do you have another? You want to pull something else out from the old closet of snacks? Right. I remember a wasabi snack. I'm sure we've done wasabi snack before. I just didn't know if we did the wasabi Doritos before. The helicopter looks like an Apache. Blue Thunder helicopter. The Blue Thunder is a helicopter in the 1980s American titular film and television series. Apparently it was a television series. The aircraft itself was a modified Aerosaptile Gazelle helicopter. Aerosapatale. I don't know how to read. But yeah, it is a really cool looking helicopter. That's for sure. Okay. All right. That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donut would probably be good.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you got.
What is the thing?
Well, these aren't. So, if you follow me on Instagram, like a couple of weeks back, I saw these, and I was like, somebody's got to get me these. So I had a friend send me these Dunkin' jelly beans, and not like looking at them too carefully, my presumption was that these were going to be donut flavored jelly beans, and they are and they aren't. And I guess because Dunkin' Donuts got rid of the word donuts from their branding, they're just Dunkin', and I think they want to be known as a coffee company. You've got like this little coffee mug, and then you've got toasted coconut. Okay, that's a donut flavor. Butter pecan. I don't know if I've ever had a butter pecan donut before. French vanilla, caramel latte, and hazelnut. I feel like those are very like coffee flavored things. So, anyways, they're fine. And it even says iced coffee flavored jelly beans. I mean, I probably should have been able to read that, but you already know about my inability to read. So, we got them. They're not bad. And I know Risa doesn't like jelly beans.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan.
You're not the biggest fan. They're kind of neat. I would recommend giving them a try. I'm sure you can find them in the States. I mean, that's where they came from. Yeah, a fun little snack. One bag is a lot of these. And, like, I got a couple of bags of them. There's a lot of jelly beans in here. And I can eat, like, 4 or 5 of them at a time. But, like, I don't think I'm going to get through all of these.
Okay, I'm going to try this.
Give them a try.
Hazelnut.
You're trying hazelnut. I got French vanilla over here.
This does not look like hazelnut color.
No. It's all right. Scott Chamberlain. As a Boston native, I'd rather eat literally vomit than Dunkin's food. I don't believe you.
Whose vomit? Your own?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, they're fine. I think that I like the Dunkin' branding. I like the colors. I like the chunky font. I actually like their donuts.
I don't think I've had many of their donuts.
Yeah.
Oh, like one time in New York we did the donut walk.
So, yeah. Would I recommend these? Yes. I would recommend, if you like jelly beans, you like candy.
It tastes strongly like hazelnut, that one.
And they're very sugary, like high. I mean, I think all jelly beans are like that. But, yeah, not an very exciting snack time today.
But also, caramel latte, this color.
Yeah, the colors are off.
I don't know. It's...
Right? Everything else seems fine. Toasted coconut. You can see it there.
Velvet jelly beans, I think, too.
Oh, God.
I remember when there was Harry Potter jelly beans.
Yeah.
That are like, because they kind of look like rocks. And they had like, I don't remember, they had like a weird taste because in the movie they had like a weird food, like as a part of Magic School or whatever. And some of them were like disgusting sounding.
Awful flavors. Yeah. Dunkin' food is better than Tim Hortons. And their donuts are better than Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons donuts are not amazing. You know why we eat them as Canadians? Because they're there.
Mr. Donuts is much
better. Donuts are good. I think Dunkin' makes it good. Like, as a chain donut restaurant,
yeah.
I definitely like Dunkin' Donuts.
It's a variety. I feel like Tim Hortons variety is not, like, amazing.
Yeah. Venomous Teddy, calling Tim Hortons menu food is offensive to food.
Oh, like sandwiches.
Yeah. They're not. It's not amazing. It's literally like the food you eat because it's there.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
The first time I ever visited Naked and Famous in Montreal, I was still working at Big John. I was just like, just traveling and like, popping by to say hello. And, that's the first time I ever met Brandon and Bezan. And these guys took us to lunch at Tim Hortons. So we ordered like sandwiches and
It probably was not, in retrospect, I think we were just looking for a quick place that was close, which literally is the quickest place and closest place to the office.
And it's very Canadian.
Yeah.
Like,
very Canadian.
I've never
I think that was part
before.
of it, but...
It's funny.
Yeah.
But afterwards, they took us out on the
we went for
bars and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
we did have a better, funner evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Krispy Kreme donuts for the win. Yes. Krispy Kreme, excellent quality donut.
But you have to want that, like glazed, like at that point.
Yeah. When they're fresh, especially when they're like.
You have to be in the mood for it, and that donut has to be in the freshest state.
The problem with the Krispy Kreme donut is that when you get it, and they're like fresh right out the thing, and you're sitting there eating them, they're not a solid anymore. They're basically a liquid. Like you put it in your mouth and it melts, and you can eat like 8 of them in one sitting.
Dangerous.
And you're just like, well, how did that happen? And why did I gain 3 pounds today? So that's the danger of the Krispy Kreme. You gotta have a lot of self-control because they are very good. Well, I needed a second date to land Risa after that Tim slip up.
That was not a date. We didn't go out till much later. That was our first encounter.
Yeah. I'm sorry that your first impression of food in Canada. I don't know if that was your first impression.
No, I mean, I've been to Canada before.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I think it was my first time. No, it was actually not my first time in Montreal either. So you're fine.
Right. I passed.
Yeah.
When I went to the Philippines and had their donuts, they are not that sweet. Oh, interesting. But yeah, I don't know how Tim Hortons continues to stay on top in Canada. Like, I think
that's just a national pride at this point.
I guess, but it's like nobody likes the coffee. Like, nobody's like, oh, that's my favorite coffee. Nobody's like, oh, that's my favorite donut. Nobody's like, oh, that's my favorite food. It's literally just a matter of they're everywhere, and if you need a coffee, donut, or food, it's there.
And you know what's gonna taste like.
Yeah.
There's no gamble there.
Yeah. Look, man, as much Canadian pride as I have, I don't, and as much as I even will purchase from those places, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just like, I just need a coffee, and I need it to be cheap and not literally tar. And
Yeah,
okay.
you never know with those like 7-Eleven coffees sometimes. Yeah. You know, it's been sitting there for
Or like,
a while.
I don't want to pay like $4 for a crappy coffee.
Yeah.
I'm okay paying $1.50 for a crappy coffee, but if I'm paying $5 for a crappy coffee,
yeah,
I'm definitely getting ripped off. At least if I have a mediocre at best coffee, and I paid $1.50 for it, I'm not really, offended by that. So, find your local donut shop. There's a good one in a city near you. Beechwood Donuts for the win. All right, shout out to Beechwood Donuts, wherever you are from. Beechwood Donuts. You know who I like? Donut Plant in New York. Yeah, they're really nice. I on Noah's last day, I wish I could have been there in New York. So, but I sent donuts, and they had an app, and they made it so easy for me to like order donuts online and have it delivered at a certain time. I really, really appreciated that, and shout out to the good people at Donut Plant New York. Good people. All right. I think we're gonna leave it there. 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Jeez,
wow, it's been a long stream.
Well,
we're gonna hit 3 hours at some point, so I guess we're gonna leave it there. Next week, 3 hour live stream. Who wants to be here for that? Right.
I don't know if I want to be.
3 hours, long time. Right. Anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everybody who stuck around for the whole live stream. If you're tuning in at any point in the live stream, you are still a hero too. And we'll be back. We'll be back next week, same time, Friday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern. Morning time for us. I don't even know anymore. Have a good weekend, everybody. Be nice to somebody. Do something nice for yourself. Treat yourself. Even if it's small, treat somebody. I don't know. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, everyone.